Tebeja, GQ Baby, 10 and 21. George, 12 and 19, with the mother. Cape Town coming in at a low of 11, reaching that maximum of 20. Southern clouds for Worcester, 12 and 24, with Sutherland coming in at 6 and a maximum of 18. Sunny times for Uppington, 11 is your low. You will reach a maximum of 27 degrees. It's a Thor-inspired Friday, and that means no matter what the weather's looking like in your part of the country, I mean, you're going to be hammering through, because it's Friday, baby.
I'm still worthy. Oh, I love it. Yes, today is Thor.
I too am worthy. Yes.
Can I bring... Wait, okay, I'm going to try it now. Let's see if I can get a Tropica out of the fridge.
Okay.
Can it happen?
It's just... Sorry.
It's coming. Wait, it's going to come. Of course, we are celebrating Thor, love and thunder today. Am I worthy? I'm worthy.
Yes.
I'm worthy. And we're having a lot of fun with it, as you can see. Yes. All of us are going to be donning the blonde wig today just for you. So we want to hear from you today. If you've seen the film or you're excited about it, we want to hear. But of course, we're going to be getting into how Chris Hemsworth got the Thor body in just a moment. I'm going to be put through my paces.
Indeed, that's going to be fun. And of course, we're going to chat about the beautiful movie with JP Sebastian in the next couple of minutes. So stay right there at your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to Feel Good Breakfast Show. This is Expresso live on S3, and JP Sebastian is about to give us the lowdown on one of the most incredible movies you'll ever see this weekend. It is Thor, Love and Thunder. And if you want to get a little taste as to what it looks like, take a peek at this.
Mjolnir, here, boy! Mjolnir? Mjolnir! You're back! Mjolnir!
Okay, now you know. Okay, that is just a little taster as to what the movie's all about, but I can guarantee you that JP Sebastian will break it down, every electrifying moment. JP, first and foremost, good morning, welcome.
Good morning, calm down, bring it down.
I'm sorry, I'm going to turn it down.
What you guys don't realize is that now you're looking at a professional call, but while we were watching the clip, he's making animal noises and swear like I had to move the expensive furniture because he was flailing. Very excitable boy. It's great to see. I'm so happy that you're happy about it. You started out with the word incredible.
But I love cinema, you know, like, so I love the fact that I'm always that kid. I feel like if you watch something, you have to feel like you don't want to know where the rabbit comes from. I don't want to know the magic trick. I just want to see it happen. But
the prestige.
Yes, from your side, I'd love to know. Interesting, you said prestige, Christian Bale. But let's talk about Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yeah.
Set the scene for us before we get to a Tessa Thompson interview.
Yeah, Thor: Love and Thunder is the one coming out today. The fourth Thor now. It's hard to think of it as fourth because obviously since Taika Waititi came along, it's a totally different feel.
Exactly.
And it definitely is like an improvement as far as the previous.
I mean, Kevin Branagh actually took on a few of them in the beginning, which is crazy.
Yeah, it wasn't necessarily, didn't knock it out the park, and it was great to see this change up. I think this came at sort of like the same time as Logan changed up a lot of the feel, so it was a good refresher. This refresher year for Thor is that he's looking for something a bit different in life. It's more of the same after he's lost a heck of a lot. Family, home, everything else, so he's looking for something in the core. He's looking for finding purpose, finding his own sort of path. And the Guardians aren't necessarily like hitting the same high because he's traveling around with them, saving, you know, spots of the universe here and there and whatnot and the other. He finds another friend who you just saw in the clip there, who clearly ends up being Jane Foster, the ex-girlfriend, and that dredges up old feelings just as he thought he was finding peace. And now he gets, you know, thrown into that dual. So it's a man in a dual, constantly a man in the state of flux, a man in the state of limbo, and at the same time trying to deal with a new threat inbound, Gore. You saw this movie, what did you think of Gore? How good is Christian Bale, man?
Christian Bale is always going to be in my top 5 in terms of actors. He's such a method actor, but at the same time, he knew what the treatment needed to be in this particular movie. I mean, he could have gone hardcore. I know that he was chatting about, he could have got the God bod, but he said that would be impossible for him to just have the quick connection between a sort of Gore and also the Gore's lift to wherever the God butcher was.
I like the look, man, like the scraggly kind of thing, like the, you know, the spirit of
not
death,
the big
kind of whatever.
villain, but like something ominous.
While I'll tell you about the stuff I love, yes, it's Taika Waititi comedy. Obviously not necessarily, for me personally, a strong sequel's never, you know, hit the same high. It's like Thor says in this movie, you never forget your first time.
Thank you.
The visuals in this are stunning to look at, man. They use this thing called the volume, which is this little bubble that you might remember they were using for Mandalorian.
Yes.
Rather than green screen, then they have to struggle, how do we get light right? Because it's blue in the background. It's so voluminous, it's so atmospheric, and it's so luscious to look at. Look at those shots, man. Oh, that's so epic. However, so Taika Waititi's got problems here for me personally. He's got to bring in Natalie Portman. How do you tone her? He's got to bring in Gore. How do you make that feel as high as something like Joker returning or whatever? And then how do you still make this fit into the Marvel universe? All that doesn't matter, though, when you think about the fact that it is a Taika Waititi movie, and that makes it hilarious. This scene made me crack myself. I don't think I've laughed at an object this hard as I did in Thor: Love and Thunder. Check it out for yourself and make up your own mind.
So that's the ex-girlfriend, is it?
The old ex-girlfriend.
Jodie Foster.
Jane Foster.
The one that got away.
The one that got away.
That means escaped.
Yeah.
Must be hard for you to see your ex-girlfriend and your ex-hammer hanging out and getting on so well. What you up to, bro?
Come to Daddy.
Come on.
No need. Hey, there you are. Hey. I was just calling you.
All right. I mean, I need to ask for popcorns. That is incredible. Thor: Love and Thunder. How many popcorns?
Like I said, problem is sequels. Problem is trifecta of sandwich in between the epic bad guy, Natalie Portman, how do you bring her back to only, etc., and all that kind of business.
All right.
6 out of 10 for a sequel. And for comedy, as good as any other comedy. Well, better than most comedies out there these days anyway. Check it out. It is lots of fun, though.
Absolutely
beautiful to look
incredible. I loved it. It was electrifying, but of course, go see it for yourself. And also a little bit later, a bit of a Tessa Thompson interview that is going to be mind-blowing. But for now, let's go over to our very own Thor for a workout that takes you from dad bod to God bod.
Oh, we're hoping, man. We're really hoping. We got our capes on. We want to feel the part. We want to look the part. Now, did you ever sit back and wonder what it would be like to walk a mile in Chris Hemsworth's, aka Thor's, I'm sure very expensive shoes? Well, today we're going to be doing a superset weighted exercise routine to get you looking like Thor himself, or at least feeling like it. But before we get there, let's take a very quick little peek at how Chris himself got into shape for the role of Thor, God of Thunder. Take a look at this. And of course, he brought his chinas with him, man. You got to do it. Now, that looks like a lot of work and a lot of dedication. Obviously, he's working from a pretty healthy basis point there. The body is already in check, so it becomes about the pump. And to show us how to start the process is bodybuilder, fitness coach, and a Mr. South Africa finalist for 2022, Marathon Abrams. And he's brought Dale along just to make me look even smaller. Thanks, guys. Thanks for doing that. You know what this means? That you're Thor, you're the sidekick. I'm the girl. I think that's me. Can I be the Valkyrie then? I'm going to be the Valkyrie. Guys, thanks so much for joining us. We love this movie because it inspires guys to think about their physical self on a whole different level.
Yes.
He's got the bod, man. He's really got the bod. So can you give us the bod?
Most definitely.
Come on.
Let's
Okay,
go.
so we're going to superset it. We're using light weights, which, don't laugh. When you use light weights repeatedly and in dynamic motion, suddenly the game changes completely.
Most definitely.
So where do we start?
Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab our weights. We're gonna go into shoulder press, okay?
Okay.
So, feet shoulder width apart, arms up, and we're just gonna rip it out. Not straight up at the top, we're gonna keep the arms bent at the top slightly.
Okay.
We're just gonna pump it. So we're gonna go for 20 reps, 3, 2, 1, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so as the blood flows in the shoulders, we're gonna move over to our bent over dumbbell rows, sorry.
Okay.
So back straight, chest up, and we're just gonna squeeze our lats as hard as we can. All the way down, extend the lats, squeeze. And we're just gonna pump it. Let's start in 3, 2, 1, 15 reps. 1, 2, 3, 4, squeeze. Great stuff, Dale. Let's go.
It does feel better with the cape on, I must say. It's quite a motivator.
10, last 5. 1, 2,
Nice.
3, 4, and 5. Easy stuff, eh?
Yeah.
Not too bad. Our next one we're gonna do is bicep curls. So
Right.
we're gonna keep our chest up, curl at the top, squeeze the bicep at the top, and then slowly down.
How important is that contraction to get that?
So important, just to get the blood flow in the muscle, and that's gonna obviously make sure that you get the bigger pump at the end of the motion. Let's start 15 reps, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2.
And make no mistake, this is all about the pump.
100%. Just to
Completely.
look as lean as you can, huh? 6, 7, 8, 9.
I feel like I should have had my wig on for this. I'm just tossing my hair.
1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay.
Come on, Dale, keep up, boy.
Not
Nice,
too bad,
man.
eh?
Come
Or
on.
is that bigness just for show? Okay, so we're gonna be flat. We're gonna do some chest presses. Arch your lower back up, shoulders into the mat, and slowly down. Squeeze the chest at the top, and let's go. 2,
Yeah, and really focus on the
300%.
muscle
Squeeze
groups
it.
that you're working, man. Create that
100%.
mind-body connection.
6, 7.
You could see from Chris Hemsworth himself,
8.
he's not using massive weights. He's using dynamic motion.
11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. So we are gonna move to the back of the arm, which is gonna be the triceps, skull crusher, okay? So elbows in, right next to the ears, and squeeze at the top of the motion. Gonna go for 15 reps, and let's go. 2.
All right, so as we close out and get that tricep
3,
pump, you can see the theme here
horseshoe.
obviously is Thor.
Yes.
And we are loving the fact
7.
that he is promoting this kind of
8.
health within, I think,
9.
gents across the globe.
10.
And of course, we're going to continue to inspire you with the latest release in the Thor saga throughout the day. Marathon, thank you so much. Del, thank you so much. I'm starting to feel the pump already. Marathon, where can people find you online? Where can people connect with you, my brother?
So they can just go onto my social media, Facebook, we being Alpha DNA Fitness on Facebook, and Instagram, Marathon Abrams Official, to follow my journey, and that's all I need.
I love it, and what a journey it is. I'm still worthy. I'm still worthy.
You are.
You can go and find anything in your house. It doesn't have to even be a weight, something that weighs 1 kilogram, 2 kilograms. Start that dynamic movement, start getting the pump yourself, and that's your first step towards getting your own Chris Hemsworth Thor body. Thank you, gents.
Thank you so much.
You want to try? You can try.
You can make my day. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to it. Yes, it is your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Expresso. We're live on S3, and we're going Thor crazy on your Feel Good Breakfast Show this morning. And if you watch the film, you will see that Thor tackles the issue of feeling lost, confused in his search for his purpose. So this morning, we are tackling this very relatable topic. We've got clinical psychologist Amy Glover in studio, who is going to be chatting to us about how we can overcome those feelings of feeling lost and confused in our search for and our quest for our purpose. And the bigger question is, how do you begin to find your purpose?
Indeed. You see, I know Amy. Amy was telling me like the energy around the movie was all hyped up and excited, but there is a narrative here that speaks to what we're about to speak about as well. Because the thing is, this makes sense after what we've been through with regard to COVID, after what we're going through, coming back from COVID as well, trying to sort of reconnect with what life was like. Seeing life the way we used to see it is quite tough. So I think let's start off by feeling lost, feeling like there's no purpose. The lack of a purpose-driven life, is this a really bad thing, or perhaps a starting block for something more?
Yeah, I agree that it's a starting block. I think it's difficult at the time, for sure, and, to see a way out. But sometimes it's a necessary pause, and sometimes to be halted can be an opportunity, right? So an opportunity to understand how we've gotten to that point, and an opportunity to look at some factors of how to get out of that too, So sometimes we can introspect in those moments.
But how do we process this? Because it's quite overwhelming to feel lost, Where do you begin in your sort of process to really make sense of all of it?
Yeah, I think we need to ask a few questions in those moments, of what has led up to that point, what are some of the factors that are maybe keeping us stuck? Sometimes we aren't recognizing maybe we're standing in our own way sometimes, maybe we're adding to those barriers. And then also, to just think about how you know, how we're processing this and what is the way forward. We just need to ask a lot more questions of ourselves.
And what it means for us.
Yeah.
I mean, that indeed could be a purpose on its own, to find out what is going on with us in that particular time. But, you know, when you are feeling unsure, uncertain as to how to move forward, you know, what are some of the steps that one should take with regard to asking these questions? I mean, not everybody knows those particular answers, but in order to try and start looking at your rut as the starting block, are there any sort of tips that you would probably offer somebody who's feeling that way at the moment? Because, you know, it's not the end when you're feeling down. As you mentioned now, it's a starting block. So how do we do that?
Yeah, I think we need to ask ourselves what used to bring us joy. You know, sometimes we lose sight of that, and we're so caught up in being stuck that we can't see that way out. But sometimes we need to be led by joy again. You know, what used to bring us joy, and have we lost sight of that? Have we, you know, obviously experiences in difficult times, we, you know, are more prone to lose sight of that. But then that's when we need to reconnect to joy and what used to bring us joy, and speaking to others and not to feel as alone in those times. You know, just hearing our thoughts out loud sometimes with another, whether that's a professional or someone we trust. I think that really just helps to bring up new thinking, bring up new solutions. And I think that's one of the good ways forward.
That's fantastic.
I love that. Okay, so that's what we're talking about. We're talking about really zoning out of that space, that mental space where you might find yourself feeling lost, confused, and really losing all of the joy and things that used to bring you joy. Maybe redefining what your life is starting to look like or how it's shaping up. We want to hear from you on our WhatsApp line 063-408-8863 if you have had that experience and how maybe you managed to tackle it. Please do share with us, and Amy's going nowhere.
So, of course, most breakfasts are a choice between eggs or toast, or at least in my house, or a quick bowl of jungle oats, perhaps. That's definitely my go-to if I want to burn the calories. But we're about to do something crazy. In fact, I don't know if I believe in this yet. We are putting a fried egg on oats and giving you the best of both worlds with our rendition of savory oats. You're going to love it. Chummy chums. I don't know.
Don't cancel us just yet. Don't cancel us just yet. It's really not as bad as it sounds.
It's because it's weird, because this is ticking a lot of my boxes. I absolutely love eggs. I will have eggs for every meal of the day. I'm an all-day breakfast kind of guy. The spinach, one of the healthiest, it's a superfood in my mind, baby spinach especially. All of these flavor profiles that I'm seeing here, the chorizo, yes, but oats, get out.
All right, so look at this. Most people are constantly looking for healthier grains to incorporate into their meals.
Yes.
So people are on some, I'm tired of white rice. I want something that's a fuller grain, something that's going to keep me fuller for longer, that also tastes good and also feels good for my body.
Glucon.
So why not try your oats? You know, we use it a lot of times for a lot of sweet dishes. We use it for breakfast, which is how we normally enjoy it. But now try and, you know, let's revolutionize the game and try and change things.
I really do like this, because there are a lot of intrinsic benefits to a good jungle oats. And I like the fact that we're using the larger grain here. I think that's good from a mouthfeel perspective. A lot of people prefer that. I get that, and it kind of feels like the OG. But you are getting so many spin of health benefits for your heart, your cholesterol. You know, I joke about beta-glucan at least once on the show because it's like my hot phrase for this year. But looking after your heart health has never been as easy. Just a bowl of oats every day can help you on your way. I absolutely love it. Okay, so this, I'm willing to give it a try, man. Give it a try. So what are we combining for our savory oats?
Okay, cool. So now we've rendered our chorizo. As you can see, all of this fat that's in this pan is literally just the rendered fat from the chorizo itself.
Oh, wow.
So what we're doing, the reason we've done that is we've rendered the fat so that it's also more edible, but we've also taken all those flavors that come from our chorizo sausage, and now we're going to be putting it through the rest of our oats. So into our, okay, I'm cooking the oats here, as you can see.
Yeah,
so
man, super cooked that superfood oats. I love that. And I think if anyone's wanting to understand the notion of rendering, this is a great way to explain it. When you render, and why fats are so important, I'm not even going to get into a whole fat-based keto diet thing. That's not what I mean here. I'm talking purely about flavor transferal. The reason why we cook things first in the oil and get the fats going and get the flavor in the fats, because that then permeates the rest of the dish. It's the flavor vehicle.
Do you even need me in this kitchen?
I don't, man. I'm stealing all of your intellectual property and passing it off as my own.
So now that we've cooked our oats, so in essence, we cooked the oats according to instructions on the package, and we've got some now that's already been cooled down. So we're going to start adding those flavors that you were talking about. We've got the flavors from the chorizo sausage. We're adding in some onions that we're going to render down as well. So we also want them to saute and get nice and sweet. And then into that, we're going to be incorporating some of our canned tomatoes that you can use. So if you've got fresh tomatoes that are going slightly softer, those are definitely an option as well.
100%.
If you've got any type, if you've got tomato paste, tomato sauce, you could also use that as well. We just want that beautiful tomato flavor coming
completely,
into.
and I'll do a little handy tip here. If you do have those tomatoes that are kind of on the end, because I'm always left with like 5 little cherry tomatoes that have been left there in the back of the drawer. You're like, oh, shame.
Yep.
Roast them. Roast them off. It just adds such a beautiful flavor depth to a tomato, I find. I just add a little bit of olive oil. It's a win.
Well, you heard it here first. Graham said it.
100%. What do you recommend from a consistency of the oats for this? I'm thinking a bit thicker,
Yes,
hey?
you do want it to be slightly thicker because you want it to be able to when you take a spoon, you want to be able to grab a spoon of the oats mixture, the spinach, and everything. You don't want it sliding off of the spoon.
You
So that's
take it
why
out with your
we've made
hand,
sure-
roll it into a little ball and dip it. Oh.
Exactly, yeah. So I've made some of the oats earlier and a mixture because the reason is this mixture has to cook down a bit as well. So you need to let sure that it cooks down, your tomatoes cook down and they break down a bit, and your onions as well. So I'm just mixing in that tomato mixture that we've made ahead of time with our oats, and we're now going to start plating.
And you know
this
what's
baby.
starting to formulate in my mind? This is kind of like pup.
Exactly.
We're kind of using it like pup. We're kind of coming from a whole grain angle. So I get it. It really does make sense.
Imagine all those grains, your pups, your sorghum, imagine your couscous,
polenta.
anything that you'd want to replace sort of like a savory grain that you'd normally use. You can definitely use your oats for that as well. If you use pearl barley a lot, you could also try using your oats in that dish as well. And look at that. It looks appetizing. It looks appetizing. It looks tasty.
Looks beautiful. My mouth is watering so much. I'm a savory tooth as well, so this is ticking that box as well. But the amount of nutrients we've been able to squeeze into this slow-burning, beautiful breakfast or lunch or supper, because this, I think, could literally be anything. To me, I'm a convert. I'm sold. We're not getting cancelled just yet.
Thank you, my guy.
And I really do suggest you play around with this yourself. For the full recipe, you can obviously visit our website, which is expressoshow.com. And then when you head out to the stores this weekend to buy a box of Jungle Oats, you could just win yourself a share of 2 million rand. All you got to do is WhatsApp a photo of your slip to 072 136 9927 and then cross your lucky fingers. And we'll do that as well. And we'll also put all these competition details out on our social media pages for you to go and check out. So good luck. Please, if you're going to make this for yourself, please send us pictures, videos, and let us know what you think of the final result. Got to get a bit of yolk, got to get a bit of chorizo, and we're on our way.
What's beta-glucan? Hello, do you know what beta-glucan is? What is beta-glucan? No one knows what beta-glucan is.
Beta-glucan is a natural fiber in Jungle Oats that helps lower cholesterol and keep hearts well.
Yes.
Jungle, do life with heart.
Christmas comes early on Expresso as Golden Cloud and Beacon search for South Africa's best friends baking duo. You and a friend stand a chance to win the grand prize worth 50,000 Rand in the ultimate Christmas in July bake-off. To enter the challenge, create your bake with Golden Cloud and Beacon. Share your photo of the bake on the Golden Baker Search Christmas in July edition competition post on the Expresso Facebook or Twitter pages, or WhatsApp line on 063 814 2300 using hashtag Golden Baker Search. And tell us why you are SA's best baking duo and why you think your creation is the best. You could be one of the 5 finalists competing live on Expresso for the grand prize worth 50,000 Rand. The winning duo to be crowned live on Expresso this July. Brought to you by Golden Cloud and Beacon. Entries close on the 17th of July. Details and T's and C's can be found on expressoshow.com.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. This is Expresso live on S3, and we're continuing our important discussion with clinical psychologist Amy Glover on regaining your zest for your life if you feel like you've lost it, as well as finding your purpose, which is something I know it feels like it's out there, but it's really important to chat about. This is the main theme of the latest Thor movie being released today. Also a very relevant topic, especially coming out of a pandemic and recovering from that.
And Amy Glover is still here having this conversation with us. Amy, a friend of mine and I were having a chat just the other day. He's just left his job and, you know, he's going through a bit of a tough time trying to really figure out who he is outside of his job. You know, where people define themselves by, you know, the company they keep and the jobs that they have. And when all of that is stripped away, you're like, who am I? What is that process like of finding who you are? Where do you begin?
Yeah, I think the risk in that, what you're saying about your friend, is also if we're placing our validation externally, and then if we leave that situation or that role, then that's often when we, you know, we lose sight of that, and that's when, you know, that internal strength needs to be there. If we're locating it externally, that fluctuates all the time, right? So, you know, in finding out who we are, also maybe ask the question, who have you always been, you know? What are maybe some character traits that have always been there, or talents or interests that have always been there, and ask people around you that know you for years and years. You know, sometimes we lose sight of that, or life takes us away from things that we used to be good at or enjoy, or you don't even need to be good at it. It just, you know, you loved it, or you know, were driven by it. So I think that's one way to guide yourself back to who you are. Who have you always been, you know?
And I suppose the same principle applies across different areas of our lives, right? The same as somebody coming out of a divorce, for example, who feels, who am I without this family, without this husband? Okay.
So talking about navigation, everybody needs a bit of a compass, and I know it's a very difficult question, but I'm going to pose it anyway.
Okay.
When you are trying to build this sort of route out of feeling lost, there are ways that you want to go to get out of there. You know, you build your own ladders in a way out of this hole. And sometimes it just feels like you just go to something because it's a very good vice, or it's a very good way, or everybody else is doing it, so you feel like there's purpose. But, you know, there's still emptiness, you know, beneath. And this is where I'm going here with the question is that, how do you know you're on the right path? And then how do you know that you're on a wrong path when it comes to building this route to purpose?
Right. It's a tricky one, hey, because I think that can be clouded sometimes, right, to navigate in that way. But I think if we have a clearer sense of our internal world and our emotional world, and if we're listening to our feelings and listening to our gut or intuition more, there are some signs, right, in how we feel. And I think that's maybe what gets clouded, or we ignore red flags, or we, you know, ignore those types of things. But I would say maybe the wrong signs we might be on the wrong path would be maybe if something's constantly draining you and there's no reward, or there's no, you know, replenishment. And signs that you could be on the right path, I guess, would be you sleep better, there's more peace, there's a sense of freedom, or feeling a little bit more settled, you know. And I think if you're really listening to your internal world there and your emotions, there's a little bit of a guide there.
And it can be quite complex, right? The subject of, you know, discovering your purpose or finding yourself and really capturing that. Sometimes it can seem like it's just a season. Is it right to say, when you are going through moments like that, it's a season, it'll pass, maybe I shouldn't overthink it? Or should we always be honing in and zoning in every time we feel like we are a little bit lost in our quest?
Yeah, it definitely can be a season, and I think it's reassuring to think of it in that way. And seasons pass, and sometimes the feelings pass with that season. But I think realistically, sometimes the feelings don't pass, right? And maybe we're stuck in difficult feelings even when a season has passed. And maybe those are sometimes, you know, the moments to then speak to someone or reach out to a professional. But sometimes it does pass just with a season. Yeah.
Well, you know what? We're going through the seasons, through the motions as well, and I love the fact that you dropped some really pearls of wisdom on all of us, which is great. This is the purpose of having these conversations with you. So I think it's important to go through some of the final tips, maybe some words of encouragement to anybody feeling lost at the moment, watching Expresso. What would you want to say to them now?
Yeah, I think I just want to say, life is such an interesting journey, and finding purpose is a lifelong journey.
Yeah.
So there really isn't a specific timeline, and don't try to put yourself on a timeline that looks like that's the right way based on someone else, or things like that. That you're on your own lane, you have your own timeline, and we can change as human beings, right? We can change in where we're going, and that's a lifelong thing, and that's okay.
We're constantly evolving, steadily revolving. I love it. Amy Glover, you are such a gem. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. But still, we do want to hear from you. So 063-408-8863. Share your experiences and your thoughts around this. But it's time now to get into some talent and check out some illustration.
So one person who has certainly found his purpose in life is our next guest. Ranging from humor to heroes with a combination of obviously eye-popping graphics, the cultural phenomenon of comic books has obviously had a massive impact on pop culture. We can see this in the Marvel universe. And although maybe the comic books themselves are becoming more a collectible item, that superhero mania that it graced us with remains even more popular today, I think. And in celebration of the latest Thor film, today we've invited comic illustrator, animator and artist, man of many talents, Alvarado de Oliveira into studio. Ari, welcome to it, my friend.
Thank you.
You're busy working hard already on a creation here, so we are going to be revealing your rendition of Thor a little bit later. I love it. I've been collecting comic books my whole life, so I get it, I understand. And so for me, it's almost like the world is catching up with the rest of us. But I wish that I had a gift like this, a natural talent. Where did this seed first germinate for you? Where did your love of comic books and this notion of being able to draw these kinds of characters first come?
As an adolescent, I watched a lot of cartoons and read some books, usually magical-related books. And cartoons in particular from Disney were the first spark of my interest in animation and illustration. And so as a kid, I'd copy everything that I saw, all the cartoons, all my favorite characters and so on. And over time, it became more of a habit, more of a just an interest I had at the back of my mind. But over time, I started taking it a little bit more seriously because I started to become more good at it. And so only after I finished high school, or before actually I started high school, did I see it as a realistic career goal to set.
And you got to back yourself, because I would imagine there weren't a huge amount of artists, or certainly comic book kind of that style of artwork, that kind of penmanship, animators around you. How difficult was it embarking on this journey? We've just been talking about finding your kind of drive and that place in the world. How difficult was it establishing yourself to get to the point where you are now?
Much of it had to do with my own sense of self-comfort. And also the confidence in conjuring my own imagination. So I didn't know what part of my own imagination I could necessarily trust. But over time, I realized that it's okay to conjure your own imaginations and create whatever worlds you want. Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and that gave me the freedom to create whatever worlds I wanted on paper, on sand, or whatever media I used.
I love that. And it must be therapeutic. I would imagine having a skill like this is one thing, but it almost becomes a shortfall in your life if you're not paying homage to that. You've got to express yourself if you've got that talent.
Yes.
And you're able to do that in multiple mediums now, because comic books have become every kind of media. You've been involved in the creation of a short film, Pyramid. Tell us a bit more about that.
So the Pyramid was conceptualized by a man named Dr. Mohammed Ghazala of Efat University in Egypt. And he, when he first approached me, he sent me a message. He had seen one of my animations online and said, hey, I'm thinking up of a series, and could you elaborate on this character for me? Could you perhaps give me some sort of sample? And so he gave me a sketch, and I reiterated it and gave him a sample of this character pushing a block.
Kind of coming to life.
Yes,
yeah.
And he enjoyed it, and we proceeded with the entire production, from the contract that I wrote to the storyboard, the schedule, to the entire production process, all the way through music, which I also directed. And sound design and the final renders. So,
wow.
So right now we're still, it's still making the rounds in animation festivals around the world. We haven't uploaded the full movie yet. And so far, the reception has been very good.
Well, you're only going to unlock one of the greatest mysteries on the planet through this. I mean, come on, absolutely beautiful. But just think of how many other young minds you're introducing to the imagination.
Yes,
that
exactly.
to me is something so special. Well, you can feel my childlike excitement already. I'm looking at this creation coming to life here. In just a moment, Ari is going to show us his take on Thor, God of Thunder. All day today, we are celebrating the incredible character that Thor is and has become in the Marvel Universe ahead of the latest release in the Thor saga. Those who saw it last night absolutely loved it. If you were one of those lucky enough, let us know what you thought of it. Ari is not going anywhere. We're going to take a look at his Thor in just a moment.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
We're back with the very talented artist, Arivaldo de Oliveira, who has been blowing my mind with his artistic ability, but it's also his perception, the way that he sees the world. And of course, this is all in celebration of the love and thunder that come with Thor this weekend, releasing in cinemas across the country today. So for our Thor-inspired show, he is busy creating us an illustration of Thor versus Gore, which I think is going to capture the imagination of so many young people at the moment, two archetypes, and that's what comics are very much about, those comic characters. It's about creating that archetype that people are going to identify with and buy into.
Yes.
Now, I'm going to ask them to bring up some pictures here. Our amazing team have been tracking what you've been doing, and there are some phenomenal pictures of superheroes that we know, but we've never kind of seen them like that. What was the inspiration here for this version of Batman?
It's supposed to be a slight reflection of how I would be like as Batman. But this was a realization I had after I was done with the drawing anyway, which was that Batman is more of a businessman with a mask.
I like that.
Yeah.
And he looks ready. He's ready to sell, man. He's ready to crush that deal. I absolutely love it. Then the Hulk is represented here in a completely different way.
Yes. Also kind of businesslike, as if I wanted to give him a bit more sentience than what we're used to seeing, where usually we're seeing Hulk as this crazy...
yeah, exactly. No, he's the boss, man. He's ready to own it. I love it. Yes. One of my absolute favorite heroes and my son's Spider-Man, looking like we've never seen him before. What was the inspiration here?
Also business-like. A more mature Spider-Man. I was used to seeing a more relatable Spider-Man at the time when I was a kid who's skinny and is witty and so on. And I was wondering what would he be like if he grew older and still remained Spider-Man. And this was my rendition of him.
Absolutely love it. Still got it. Okay, so let's look at this picture that's unfolding here. Talk us through your creative process. How do you go about creating a piece of art?
Initially, it's easier to start off with a very rough sketch, lines going all over the place, just so that it makes it easier for me to see what iterations I could use to actually render the image. So before I commit to any details, it's important for me to have a sort of a rough range of where certain features will be. And then I can start actually rendering, exactly.
Absolutely beautiful. It's coming together beautifully. We will keep an eye on this creation as we progress. It is almost at the top of the hour and time for us to bring you up to speed with the latest news headlines, and we'll check in with Ari after that.
Thanks a lot, G. Let's take a peek at the news from around the world, starting locally, following the Enyobeni Tavern tragedy in East London that claimed the lives of 21 teenagers. The SA government has called for all stakeholders, both in government and society, to play their role in addressing the ugly scourge of alcohol consumption among young people. The government has made it clear to alcohol establishments that alcohol may not be sold or served to anyone under the age of 18. The government also called for the provincial and national liquor authorities to increase enforcement by monitoring registered outlets and closing down unregistered ones as well. Now, Eskom was to reduce load shedding from Phase 5 to Phase 4 this morning from 5 o'clock until midnight, and at the same time tomorrow to Phase 3 and Sunday to Phase 2. The power provider says this is thanks to generating units that have since been restored and connected to the power grid. Now, but despite this, load shedding will have to continue indefinitely. All Eskom's employees who participated in an unprotected strike some fortnight ago resumed their work this week after accepting a 7% increase. Now on to international news. Boris Johnson has quit as Conservative Party leader in Britain, saying it is clearly now the will of Tory MPs that there should be a new leader. He pledged to stay on as PM until a successor was chosen, but a growing number of Tory MPs say he has to leave number 10 Downing Street now. Johnson assured the cabinet yesterday afternoon that he would only act as a caretaker PM while remaining in that position, but ex-PM Sir John Major says Johnson should go now for the good of the country. Now, Senegalese President Macky Sall said yesterday there was growing international support for developing gas resources in Africa. Now, African leaders have bristled at pledges by Western countries to reduce development financing in Africa for gas projects in the name of fighting climate change. On Wednesday, the European Parliament backed EU rules labelling investments in gas and nuclear power plants as climate friendly. Gas is a fossil fuel that produces planet-warming emissions, but far less than coal. The war in Ukraine has led to renewed interest in African gas. And now on to a story that's going to make you smile a bit and may steal a bit from Graham's sport. Wimbledon, where the world's top tennis players have been in action for nearly a fortnight, is sporting a huge smile on their face, of course. But the reason for this is not the quality of the tennis. It's because outside of court number 1, artists have turned a picture of a happy boy from Madagascar named Teffy into a giant mosaic made entirely of tennis balls. Smiling Teffy is there to remind everyone at Wimbledon that through access to clean drinking water and functioning toilets, thousands of children's lives can be saved. 1 in 10 people around the world don't have regular access to clean drinking water. The Wimbledon Foundation has been working in partnership with WaterAid since 2017 to help make clean water, decent toilets and good hygiene a normal part of daily life in communities across Ethiopia, Madagascar, Malawi and Myanmar. It took artists 12 hours to create the tennis court-sized portrait near number 1 court, showing 10-year-old Teffy from a village in Madagascar who, with the help of WaterAid and partners, including the Wimbledon Foundation, now has clean water at school and near his home. What a great story to make you smile this morning on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. That's a wrap of your news for now. Another update in 1 hour. Let's take a peek at the sport.
Thank you so much, Carl. Let's start with football. Great news for Banyana. Banyana fans, they booked their spot in the quarterfinals of the Women's Africa Cup of Nations. That was after beating Burundi 3-1 with a dominant display. And in fact, their second victory at the tournament in Morocco for Banyana, now ensuring their progression to next week's last 8 clash, with goals coming from Tembi Khatlana, Mahweleng Motau, and substitute Linda Mutako. It was a second defeat for Burundi, who lost 4-2 to Botswana in their opening game. So they're next up against Nigeria. Stiff opposition there on Sunday, while South Africa will take on Botswana. Then on to tennis. Heartbreak for Rafa Nadal, as he has had to withdraw from his Wimbledon semi-final against Nick Kyrgios with an abdominal injury. That means Kyrgios, playing in the semis for his first time at a Grand Slam, now makes it through to the final, and that means he will meet either Novak Djokovic or Cameron Norrie in that Sunday final. Then in the women's draw, Ons Jabeur continues to make history, and Elena Rybakina, they'll meet in that final. Jabeur becoming the first Arab player to reach a Grand Slam singles final with a 6-2, 3-6, 6-1 win over Tatiana Maria. Then Rybakina, she became the first singles player from Kazakhstan to reach a major final with a 6-3, 6-3 win over Simona Halep. Then on to rugby. Some of the best rugby we've seen on local shores, and it was the young'uns putting it out there. Western Province, they will now play the Bulls in the unofficial Craven Week final, and that's at Rondebosch Boys High School. The Bulls, they beat SWD 34-15, as both them and Western Province now remain unbeaten this week. Meanwhile, the Pumas, the only other undefeated team of the tournament, they were equally impressive with their 48-18 win over the Griffins. The Lions, they did bounce back from their opening defeat to the Bulls, and that was with their win over the Free State with a 30-22 point margin. Then we return to the greatest cycling spectacle on earth, and Tadej Pogacar, he sprinted away to finish, to win the Stage 6, in fact, and move into the overall lead at the Tour de France yesterday. The defending champion attacked at the top of the short climb into Longwy, and pulling away from that peloton to finish ahead of Michael Matthews and David Gaudu. It was a 7th stage win in the event for the 23-year-old, who of course won the Tour in 2020 and 2021, and now ensures that he has a 4-second lead over American Nelson Paulus. Well, that's where we leave our sport for now. We'll continue to delve over the next 2 hours, but right now, the greatest competition that you need to worry about is out on the road. So let's bring you up to speed with the traffic.
Oh, yeah, a wild start to the day on the roads. We start off out in Gauteng with a traffic update. If you are planning to head on the roads this morning, Selby, on the M1 northbound, there is congestion over there before the Crown interchange. And the traveling speed over there is 4 kilometers per hour with delays up to 30 minutes. So please be patient on the roads this morning. Staying in Gauteng, Benoni, there has been an accident over there on the N12 westbound after Kingsway Highway. One lane is currently blocked and causing delays. So please approach with caution. If you're out in KwaZulu-Natal, Greytown, on the R33 northbound, there is protest action. That's between Greytown and Dundee Road. Please do make use of an alternative route this morning to avoid any delays. And please take it easy as you head on the roads. Now, from the roads, we take a look at your weather. In a time of scarcity of conservation success stories, comes the news that southern fin whales have been feeding in large numbers in ancestral feeding grounds in Antarctica for the first time since hunting was restricted in 1976. Now, it's estimated that fin whales could number some 8,000 after video documentation captured a symphony of blowhole eruptions from the mammals in the ocean around Elephant Island in Antarctica. Now, recovering Antarctica rather. Let's try it again. We will try it again. We'll get it right. Okay, I'll be back with that one. But recovering fin whale populations could enrich the marine ecosystem of that space through nutrient recycling from whale feeding and excrement known as the whale pump, and in turn support increasing growth of phytoplankton and greater krill populations. It's big news over there there. Southern fin whales are the second largest whale species after the blue whale and were extensively hunted during the 19th century. Helena here and colleagues at the Hamburg University in Germany, they estimated fin whale abundance based on all sightings of individuals and groups along 3,230-kilometer search tracks during the expeditions in 2018 and 2019. Shall we try that again? Director, give it to me. Antarctica. Oh, Lajith Maharaj, let's take a look at your sunrise pictures. Sent in this beautiful pink rosy sky art in KZN. Look at that, man. A work of photography art. I love it. We'll meet him a little bit later on in Belito with Ryle. Karel Fasahi sent us this masterpiece. Take a look at that one from Velcom. It looks like a painting with the morning sun casting a shadow over the clouds, causing it to reflect in the water. And then we got one from Aisha, who sent in her beautiful views this morning out in Kalk Bay. Look at that beam of light in the distance above the ocean. I love how she's been able to capture that. It's beautiful. We have this beauty sent in by Steph Bentz out in Mauritius. Look at that, Mauritius this morning. Ooh, what a lovely, lovely video. Thank you so much for that. That heavenly tropical view with the sun peeking from behind the clouds above the Indian Ocean. Ooh, yes, sir. And finally, we had this video sent in by Teresa showcasing the Brixton Tower at the back in Vredendorp. It's beautiful. Look at how peaceful her surroundings are. You can even hear the birds chirping in the background. A fantastic way to start your morning. And that was the video that we just played you now. And now we take a look at your temperatures across the country, setting you up for your Friday. Sun and clouds for Polokwane. 6 is your low, reaching a high of 22. Mbombela, 11 is your minimum. Your maximum is 25. If you're out in the capital city, today 7 is your minimum, reaching a maximum of 21 degrees. Sunny times for Johannesburg, 5 and 20, with Mahikeng starting off at 5 and peaking at 23. Klerksdorp 2 and a high of 23, with Kimberley starting off at 4 and reaching a high of 21. -3, that's your start. Bloemfontein, you will reach highs of 21, with some sun and clouds expected for Richards Bay today, 14, reaching a high of 25. Pietermaritzburg, sunny times, 7 and 26, with Durban at 15 and 24. Mthatha, 5 is your low, your highs 24, with East London at 12 and 22. Sunny for Craddock today, 2, your lows reaching a high of 22, with Gqeberha coming in at a low of 10, reaching a maximum of 21. George, your temps 12 and 19. The mother city, Cape Town, 11 and 20, with Worcester with some sun and clouds today, 12, reaching a maximum of 24. Sutherland, 6 and 18, with Uppington coming in last, by no means least. 11 is your low, and you will reach a high of 27. The next update will be in just over an hour. In the meantime, go out, snap those beautiful sunrise photos. Show us what it's looking like in your part of the country. 063-408-8863.
Rivaldo has actually left me breathless here. I've been looking at this creation, this work of art come to life. This is his rendition of Thor doing battle with the god killer Gore himself. What I love about that is you've gone kind of away from the cartooniness and you've given us this beautiful representation of the archetype of the characters.
Yes.
You have a gift, my friend, that is absolutely beautiful. Thank you for gracing us with your talents today.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
I'm going to tell everyone who can, at Sable Group Ari,
Yes.
get on there, check out his work. It is going to blow your mind. But if you're looking to inspire a new generation to let the imagination fly, he is the man to do it. Ari, thank you so much. That is
a pleasure.
Exquisite, my friend. Well, if that's got you excited about the movies, and I haven't asked him if he's a Marvel or a DC fan. I don't want to polarize our viewership in one go. But of course, these movies, and this particular movie that we've been getting excited about today, has Natalie Portman's biceps stealing the show. So we're going to look at women of power in just a moment through the silver screen lens of JP Sebastian.
I hope you'll always know how much I love you. I hope that you never stop learning and growing. That you'll be brave and joyful and kind. And that one day, when you look at me and I look at you, we'll love the wonderful you that you've become. It all begins with purity.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to Feel Good Breakfast Show. This is Expresso live on S3. And the thing is about the movie Paradigm is that JP Sebastian will give you a lowdown of the latest trailers, movies, but I think today it's important to unpack the way characters are perceived, especially when it comes into those gender roles. Now, throughout production of Thor: Love and Thunder, some needless noise is made by the doubters and the haters, as traditional society would be. Natalie Portman's biceps, can she fold the boots, can she grip the hammer, the boring stuff. So JP wanted to cover something different today, and I think it's so important that we are doing this, which is essentially women in those roles in film.
Which are iconic. And like, just as a reminder, because people forget, like some of these exist, and there are a whole lot of names that I could have put on this list.
Yes.
Like G.I. Jane, etc., you know. But I wanted to avoid. Okay, look, there are some obvious ones because they are classic.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'm eating into my own time. Let's jump into the list. I want to talk about these action women because, like you said, like the whole Natalie Portman brouhaha. Just by the way, like Thor doesn't even need those muscles. Mjolnir, the hammer, flies all on its own, so it's like he's stacked.
And pretty much imbues him with power. So you know you don't really need all of the lats.
I want to talk about barbarians though. So my first favorite. Yes. I love this woman so much. Grace Jones as Zula in Conan the Destroyer. Good classic. Oh, look at
I remember
the photo of Arnold Schwarzenegger. She, what a complete firecracker, to use a term that is, you know, maybe shame, too diminutive or whatever, for this lady who steals the show, as far as I'm concerned. Arnold Schwarzenegger is great at it, but yes, Grace Jones is explosive in this movie, and you should all do yourselves a favor. What I like so much about this is, like, now we're going into these kind of conversations about, okay, if we bring in a female heroine, how do we give her an ideology, a cause, and those are all important conversations. But what about a character who's just a barbarian? Zula has no direction, she has no faith, she has no institution she's coming from, she's just a mad person, as much as Conan is a mad person, and I love it dearly. Guys, 1984 was good. Please do go watch Grace Jones again. What a queen. How do you attract a man, says the princess. She says, you grab him and you take him.
And you know, just as we get into the next one, what I'm enjoying about this is that I suppose traditionally everybody wants to do the whole, like, let's make them muscle bound. And although fitness of a certain superhero character, let's just say like a Jane Foster, okay, I get it. But one thing that I appreciate in some of the films that you selected is the fact that there's this resilience in the characters.
Despite.
Which is beyond muscle. And that's what I appreciate about a female lead, especially the ones that you are touching on today. Let's get to the next one.
And so the next one, Charlize Theron,
Here we go.
Furiosa, Mad Max Fury Road. Perfectly description, I think, the way, because even they bring in the fact that she's a person with a disability. You know, she's missing the left arm. They don't beat around the bush that Max is this like hulked out macho dude, and these whole scenes where the sisters get her back, which, yes, please, more of this kind of like women in solidarity with each other, fighting a man singularly and whatever. But I chose this scene because, dude, this really like touched my heart. If you remember Fury Road, this was 2015. Mad Max does a virtual 180 about turn, and he says, guys, you have to fight through capitalist patriarchy. The future is not forward into the unknown. It is taking back what is rightfully yours. And to see a character, a male character, put his body on the line and go, I want to be in alliance, and then this handshake, dude, I actually did well up when I saw this, because like, especially in a time like now, when you have like Roe v. Wade in America and whatever, and every other woman's rights being encroached upon.
There was power there.
Yeah, like that a man and a woman, that there doesn't need to be a kiss and a romance necessarily. We're brothers and we're sisters in the fight together. Mad Max Fury Road, Furiosa.
That's it, very well chosen. I love Furiosa as a character, and I'm glad that there's a nice spin-off. Funnily enough, Chris Hemsworth's going to be in it as well.
Yes, he is. There are already photographs out for that. You can have a look for yourself. Furiosa, Anya Taylor-Joy. However, next person is Trinity, Carrie-Anne Moss, keeping it Australian, another classic person. And again, speaking here about like men and women working together, of course, this is a romance movie at its core. The Matrix. I don't need to tell you that, right? 1999. Look, I'm talking about actually the feelies and all of that kind of stuff, but the action is what counts here too. Never mind all the feelies just for a second. This is a classic shot. This is so slick, so epic. The Wachowski sisters, Carrie-Anne Moss, in such an iconic role. Importantly, again, like, sure, a human being is allowed to have love and allowed to want a man and allowed to want a woman or whatever. That is not the singular mission of this character, because she is heroic for him. She saves his butt like 3 times, Neo, and he saves hers. Together they're binary, which is actually why one of the design decisions about why they look so similar. Like, they're pretty much androgynous. They're like, you know, 2 halves of the same coin. All that doesn't matter, though, because she is timeless, and Carrie-Anne Moss deserves whatever flowers are, whether they're virtual.
And I'm happy that it shows her, because once again, the muscle there is knowledge. The muscle there is...
And the word used, resilience, spirit, force, will, etc. But
that's bigger than muscle for me. Let's go on to the next one.
Help me out here. I think I've forgotten. My own list.
Oh, no, it's no problem. The next one you're going to go to is not only Trinity, but of course, Yushu and Jen.
That's right.
Yes, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
This is Michelle Yeoh and Zhang Ziyi.
Yes.
Guys, I can't believe I missed this movie on big screen.
I was working in a video shop when this movie came out.
and I'm sure you burned through that VHS.
Yes, I did.
VHS is to you another day, guys. Just incredible. Do yourselves a favor and watch Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon again, because Michelle Yeoh, who you last saw in Everything Everywhere All at Once, incredible martial artist. Both of them are. We've seen a couple of times.
Yes.
The action guy, you just saw Thor, and we both enjoyed Thor, but it does not even come close to what these 2 women achieve in this movie here.
This is
the year 2000 still.
And I would watch this movie. In fact, you just inspired me. I want to watch the movie again.
No, I'm doing it this weekend again.
It's been fantastic. And I really enjoy the fact that, you know what, it's not about the muscle. And also, for any director, you don't need to do the whole muscle-bound individual. Find a resilient character that fits in the narrative, and not only fits, but takes it on in their own right, which is vitally important as well. But talking about that, watching Thor, Love and Thunder, there was another character that stood out to me, Valkyrie.
Not just Mighty Thor, you had Valkyrie, King Valkyrie.
King Valkyrie, and I can tell you, you need to go watch the movie, bottom line. But you got a chance to chat to Tessa.
I did, yes. And I'm intact. I'm not in love, I swear. Silent, quiet tear down the face. No, wonderful person, and great talk that we had about her, where the character is at this point in this new Thor, and also the introduction of the newcomer, wink, wink, Christian Bale, and what it was like working with him. Let's have a look at JP chatting with Tessa Thompson for Thor, Love and Thunder.
My name is JP Sebastian. I am here for Expresso from South Africa. Tessa Thompson, who plays Valkyrie. Hi.
Hi.
It's great to meet you, and thank you so much for sharing this time with me. I really appreciate it.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. I want to say that in Thor Ragnarok, it feels like, you know, obviously all characters are going through sort of phases of life, emotional phases, whatever you want to call it, with deep underpinnings to them. Valkyrie is sort of in a nihilistic kind of limbo. Where do we find her in Thor Love and Thunder? How has she grown, or how does she feel stuck in some ways?
I think she's grown tremendously since we first met her in Ragnarok. Look, she will always, I think, be someone that lives hard, occasionally, you know, likes to have a drink or two, has a natural grit and melancholy to her. I think that's just a part of her fundamental nature. But I think when we met her before, she was someone who was really dealing with a lot of trauma, or frankly not dealing with it. I think in mourning the loss of her sisters and a real loss of a sense of purpose. And this time around, you meet her as king, which is satisfying. You know, she was essentially a career soldier, so she's always protected her people, protected Asgard, but now she gets to do that on the throne. She's a little disenchanted with some parts of the job, and that has to do with bureaucracy. She's a born leader, I think, in many ways, but she's not like a born sitting in meetings, paperwork, shaking hands. That part of it, I think, is tricky for her. And also, New Asgard has become this sort of tourist destination. So I think she also feels like she's part salesman, and she wants to get back on the battlefield, back into adventure. And you know, the events of this film give her the opportunity to do that.
Yeah, interestingly, like you say, there's a natural part of her, or a part of her that's essentially just grit. It's not that everything needs some sort of emotional resolution or something.
Yeah.
She does just miss swinging a sword. Speaking of which, then, so it's not all bureaucratic ribbon cutting for the king of New Asgard. I bow before thee. I was really glad to see you back in the saddle, like literally.
Yeah.
The action is ramped for Valkyrie. Tell us a bit about the preparation for that. There must be a lot that had to go into you swinging a sword gloriously. And what was your favorite part? Do you just walk around with the sword 24/7?
I do walk around with the sword a lot. The first time around, I walked around with the sword constantly in my day-to-day, which was, you know, various levels of embarrassing. I just was like a child with this sword all the time. This time around, I just have more agility with it. Sword work is not quite like riding a bike, but I think once you have some level of muscle memory, some things came back a bit quicker. The thing that was so enjoyable about this time around, as you say, in the saddle, I rode a horse a lot, and so I got to really train in horseback riding and horsemanship and relationship with my horse, which was so fun. And the horse that plays the Pegasus is a horse called Shadow. It took me like weeks to be able to actually get on Shadow. I was training with horses that were slower, and that was incredible just to get better. That's one of the great pleasures, I think, of my job, at least for me, is I'm constantly getting to learn new things, and I love that. And I especially get to do that with Valkyrie. It's a really humbling and empowering process.
Excellent. So much space for like growth. Now that you got that skill in your back pocket, and it actually means something to you. You took that with you.
Yeah.
It's kind of quite special in a way.
Yeah, it really was.
I'm going to quickly try and squeeze just the one last thing, though, about the newcomer in the movie, and it's weird to call him that because Christian Bale is kind of a mythical actor as far as these things go.
Yeah.
But you cross blades with Christian Bale, and you have a really, really intense scene, like quite intimate together. Can you just describe what shooting that was like, and was there anything about it that was unexpected for you with the chemistry and working together with a guy as talented as yourself?
That was so surprising to me. I mean, I expected he would be a generous actor because typically when someone is really, really good, I think usually they're generous as actors because there's a kind of sensitivity. But something that really struck me, I was so paranoid about hitting him, stabbing him in any way. I remember the same thing happened when I had a fight scene with Cate Blanchett. Like two of my acting heroes, I just was so focused on not wanting to hit them by accident, and he similarly was so worried about injuring me. He was so inside of it and so daunting and so terrifying, and then would just keep checking in. You know, he was able to hold this sort of dual space of being entirely in the pocket of what he needed to be, but also be conscious as Christian of his teammate, of his partner, and that was so incredible. And he did that also in the acting scenes. Like, he was so present with me and so complimentary about my work while we were doing it. He just creates this really lovely space. And his kids would be on set and he'd be chatting about the weekend and how the surf was, and then they'd call action, and suddenly he is entirely transformed into this otherworldly terrifying, and also he's such variety. Was so funny sometimes too. He was able to pitch. He could go and he could play so many different colors of this character, and it was really just a masterclass, and also just so fun to watch.
And you guys, that fight came off so well, and like I said, that intense moment that you shared as well. Great job to all of you,
so much.
And to yourself included, of course.
Thank
I'm
you.
going to wrap there though. So to the King of New Asgard, Valkyrie, thank you so much for your time. It was really interesting hearing these points from you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, come by South Africa sometime.
I really hope to. I really want to.
Okay, thanks so much.
Just the way she like smiled and giggled to JP Sebastian. I feel like she likes you.
Do you think she'll like take dual custody with us? I don't know.
Maybe.
We can go to triple date, hold hands.
I'd love
sorry.
to. So we asked you a little earlier on your Feel Good Breakfast show if you had a superhero name, superpowers, like what would you call yourself? What would those powers be? Craig is up first on our WhatsApp line, 06340888863. Craig, what's yours?
Good morning, you guys. I would like to be Barry Allen the Flash. That's an awesome superpower. Travel in time and run as fast as you can, where you want, wherever you want, run on water. That will be pretty awesome.
Lovely.
Fighting petrol prices.
Yes, running away from the load shedding. Right, Deborah, what about you?
Good morning, I'm Deborah. If I were a superhero, I would like to say I want to be just like Superwoman, because she had the ability of strength and speed, and she can speak with animals.
I like. All right, Maurice. What about yours?
Good morning, South Africa. Good morning, Expresso family. My name is Maurice, and my superhero name would be Dynamo. And my superpowers would be to read people's minds. Have a nice day, peeps.
The mystery in that voice.
But can I tell you, Maurice has got it down already in terms of the voice.
I think he knew I was going to crack myself.
Yes, I know. She got you there. That's a Dynamo is here. Well, thank you so much. You can keep it coming. We'd love to hear what your Superman... And be creative. It doesn't have to be an existing superhero. Make one up for yourself, like Movie Man.
I'm the Crush because of Tessa Thompson.
The Crush is here, but we'll be crushing on somebody else a little later because Manila Von Teese is here to entertain you on your Feel Good Breakfast show. Stick around for that. It is hour to start your weekend.
Take lashes higher. New Revlon Eyes Wide Open Mascara. The curved brush volumizes and lifts lashes vertically for a wide-eyed lash look. Hemp seed oil conditions for healthy-looking lashes. Go higher. New Revlon Eyes Wide Open Mascara.
Welcome back to it. Yes, it is your feel-good breakfast show. It's Expresso. We're live on S3. All the reason to feel good this morning. And I'll tell you why. Because after almost 10 years in the entertainment industry, entertainer Manila Vontes is not just a drag queen. She is, without a single doubt, Cape Town. In fact, Mzansi's queen of drag. And if you were wondering how, why, who, where, check this out.
You say you love me, but you don't. Got me feeling them artificial feelings. Got the minds now with a mental illness. You said you love me, but you don't. You say you love me, but you don't. Got me feeling them artificial feelings. Got the minds now with a mental illness. You said you love me,
Hey, and today Manila joins us in studio to share her excitement around the release of her very first self-made single, Come For Me. Everybody, please put your hands together for our very own superhero, Manila Vontes!
Hi, darling.
It is every single category. I mean, I'm like, the category is no. Every category, you brought it along with you.
1, 2, and 3.
And it's 10 across.
The board.
Oh, man, it's beautiful to have you here with us, Manila. You look stunning.
Thank you.
And I did make use of some of your sort of,
off-cuts?
Residual off-cuts of your outfit. Thank you so much for allowing us to do that.
It's a pleasure.
How have things been?
Booked and busy. Bless. I can't tell you how amazing it has been just to do things that you love, you know, and constantly just pushing the new envelope of seeing where you can take this art into different avenues.
And I mean, we're seeing this envelope of yours everywhere. I mean, over here, over there, literally everywhere. You've done so well. From, I think, the earlier times where we got to see you on a reality talent show on TV, you've really managed to continue reaching new heights each time. What is it about this space, the entertainment space, that really fuels you? Where do you get your drive from?
I think it's a reinvention all the time. I think we're in a space where everything inspires you. So I try to look at everything as inspiration. So I think also evolving myself every now and then makes me excited about drag, and even the possibilities of what is out there excites me. So that's what drives me.
I think there's also such an incredible thing here at play, that not only does it excite you, you also find ways to inspire and excite everybody else around you through the art of drag. I mean, you're Sivin Gessi's drag mom.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I mean, look at that. The two of you really do make such a beautiful duo. You work so well together. I couldn't think of a better mom for Savannah.
The thing is this, but Sophie's a bubbly person as well. So it was actually just a match made in heaven, because he wanted to do it for a very long time, and then it just happened. And I mean, I'm so grateful for him, because we have done a lot of amazing things together, and he always just push the community further.
And you really have done such an awesome job there. What are some of the roles and responsibilities of a drag mother?
Well, it's actually quite a deep one. I don't have an actual daughter where I'm actually like physically present and I'm guiding them, because it's actually a full process, because normally people search for houses when they've been disowned by families and things. So I think it's quite an important and amazing platform to place yourself, role to place yourself in as a guider of a queer person to the best of their ability, because you obviously are bestowing your learned things over the years.
Expression. And giving them the opportunity and the platform to be able to express in that way. And that's what you are doing with your music. Come For Me, the single is out. Tell me all about it.
Well, it was a 2-year process. I don't know why it took that long, but it was a 2-year process. And yeah, I had this idea of wanting to do music for a while now, and the pandemic just
knocked everything out the way.
You had to find other ways and other means of doing it, because the clubs were closed, where our work is generally at. So we had to find other ways of doing things. And I was like, how can I excite myself? Because I was also stagnant in my drag or my art. So I was just like, no. push yourself further. And then I went into studio and recorded a song.
Brought out the music. Well, the really exciting thing here is that this morning, Manila Von Teese is going to be debuting this Come For Me single right here on the Expresso stage, and it's something you do not want to miss. Manila Von Teese, everybody! Yes, baby! Oh, yes!
Yes! I felt that. In fact, I want to celebrate. The weekend is made for taking it easy and treating yourself after a long week. Now, brunch-worthy bites need to not to take up a lot of your time. You have to kind of chill and have me time. So let's make something quick and easy and amazing. So, you know, you got a loaded breakfast, okay? But this one is different. Hash browns, they can show you what the weekend is all about. Every morning you'll wake up and you'll hash brown it in hashtag hash brown, hashtag lekker, hashtag tumi mogoy. That's how I'm talking. That's what I'm talking about. Hello, Tumi.
I call that a Manila Von Teese.
I am doing a hashtag Manila Von Teese because we're making hash browns today. I am very intrigued because these are different hash browns. The ones that you get in restaurants, they feel like they are a bit thinner. These ones are like sort of steaks.
Yes.
So tell me, the stakes are obviously higher.
They're very high.
So talk to me how you're going to make this pop.
All right, so you go to a restaurant, you order a hash brown, and they just give you a clumpy little potato that looks sad.
They've grated and they haven't cooked through properly, yeah.
We're not about that here. We're about flavor, we're about deliciousness, we're about enjoyment. Enjoyment, you know that?
Enjoyment?
Enjoyment.
Okay,
yes.
cool.
So, any hash brown, as you always know, starts with potatoes, potatoes, patata.
Patatas bravas.
Patatas bravas.
Okay.
And we're also keeping it very simple. We've got some potatoes here. This has been par-cooked, though. The reason for that is to make sure that when you get your hash brown, you get that nice, soft and crumbly texture, but beautiful, crisp out exterior.
Can we break it down for a second? Sorry, when you said par-cooked, it means that it wasn't cooked by your pa. It means that it was actually cooked beforehand. I'm just asking, just to make sure that we are being step by step. We're trying to make it quick and easy, right?
No parents were harmed in the making of these hash browns. So, no, it was not made by Pa, but it was pre-cooked.
All right.
Maybe I should say that.
That's perfect.
And how to make a hash brown is quite simple. Potatoes, we've got here. I'm adding an egg to it. The egg is going to help with binding everything together.
All right.
I'm also adding some salt and pepper. So at this point, if you wanted to add any flavor to it, don't do that. I see you. Any flavor, if you wanted to add over here, if you wanted to add some spice, if you wanted to add any additional flavor, like some chili.
Jalapeno.
Jalapeno.
I'd do that, totally.
You want to add anything. Flavors, you could definitely do that at this point because this is now where you're flavoring it. Now, in essence, all you're doing is just binding everything together. You're bringing it together with your egg, with the rest of the ingredients, just so you can have this consistency.
Could you incorporate cheese into this recipe?
You definitely should.
Okay.
It is a yes from me. You must definitely...
I would try and do some cheese in here as well.
Add some Parmesan in there.
That's exactly it. So while that's cooking down, you've made this, and we can add whatever flavor in there.
Correct.
We need to make sure we plate. We've got Authenticos here. I just want to say, Clover Authenticos is the only authentic Greek-style yogurt in South Africa and is available in various amount of flavors. We're talking coconut and apple. We're talking cinnamon. Well, apple and cinnamon. And then, of course, we are making a little bit of a different mix over here because you're keeping it simple and plain, which means that all the other flavors are going to sing for us in this recipe. So while you make the other one, I'm going to begin a plating process because you said I should do this, right?
Yes.
So here we have the already cooked, beautiful hash brown. Hashtag gorgeous.
Hashtag delicious.
We have some additives. We've got some red onion. We've got some mild dill. Then we've got some fresh dill. Then we've got, looks like capers. Then we've got some, looks like salmon or trout. And then we look some chives. What is this, salmon or trout?
It is salmon, sir.
Okay.
Salmon, if you want to.
Salmon name. No one is around. Sorry, I had to. Okay.
No,
may I construct?
I was feeling that. You may construct.
So what do you need me to do? Do you guide me through?
No, okay, now, as a chef knows, when it comes to plating, your creativity takes the cup.
Thank you.
So I'm saying do what you feel is right, sir.
That I feel is right?
Yeah. But make sure that you get it.
I'm ready. Let me try and do this in 30 seconds, okay? Okay, I want to do just a little bit of that.
I wish I could count because then I'd count you down, but then I don't know how to count.
Do it there. Perfect. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put that over there.
I'm seeing
I'm going to take some of that over there, and I'm going to put that down over there, right? We're going to take the dough. I'm going to give it a little bit of a rose, and we pop it in there. And then we're going to take, and then we're going to do a little bit of a salmon rose here, which is going to be great. And remember, if you want the recipe, just go to expressoshow.com. So make sure there's like a salmon rose on top of there. You're going to finish off with 2 capers on either side over here. And remember, you go also over here if you want to. A little bit of dough on top of that. And then we finish with a flurry of chives. Expressoshow.com. Grab it. And yes, chives. Keep alive with chives. And try this with Clover Authenticus. It's something you have to try with chive in my eye. Give it a shot. Okay, this is wonderful. I'm going to eat that.
Made with love by Clover.
Christmas comes early on Expresso as Golden Cloud and Beacon search for South Africa's best friends baking duo. You and a friend stand a chance to win the grand prize worth 50,000 Rand in the ultimate Christmas in July bake-off. To enter the challenge, create your bake with Golden Cloud and Beacon. Share your photo of the bake on the Golden Baker Search Christmas in July edition competition post on the Expresso Facebook or Twitter pages, or WhatsApp line on 063-814-2300 using hashtag Golden Baker Search. And tell us why you are SA's best baking duo and why you think your creation is the best. You could be one of the 5 finalists competing live on Expresso for the grand prize worth 50,000 Rand. The winning duo to be crowned live on Expresso this July. Brought to you by Golden Cloud and Beacon. Entries close on the 17th of July. Details and T's and C's can be found on expressoshow.com.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
I need not say anything else other than it's 5-second game time. We love it today. Our theme is all things Friday, because it is a Friday, lest we forget. So who will win the box of Omar Rusks today? Let's find out. I hope you're taking this seriously, eh?
I love
always
this. It's okay.
You got quite personal with that box of Buttermilk Rusks.
It was like Stormbreaker.
Yeah, I'm beginning to think now that you're going to have trouble prying this out of his hands if he loses, man. Gents,
let's get it going.
We want to celebrate Friday in every way that we can. So that's the vibe today. And it's going to be quite tricky. So you're going to need to be on form. Focused.
Okay, cool.
Focused.
All right.
If you need a dipper rust to get your head in the game.
I'm on standby.
All right, so I'm going to give you 3 things. You've obviously got 5 seconds to give me my answer, and it's going to be intense.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to start with you, Tubbsy.
All right.
Name 3 days that come before Friday.
Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday.
Oh,
nice.
Look at that.
That was a
Don't be overconfident. That was really easy.
Come on.
Okay, don't get overconfident.
Is this a
now.
game or what?
All right. Hola.
Yes.
Hola. Come.
Yes.
Okay, name,
What is he? Look to
name
me.
3 slang words for Friday.
Vrijdag, klein vrijdag, Chinatown.
Nice, I'll take it.
Vrijdag isn't a slang word.
Vrijdag, it is,
It's an
man.
actual Afrikaans word for Friday.
It is actually.
But it's slangy. In Cape Town, Afrikaans is slang. Don't
It
you know
is.
that? Yeah, it is.
And also the klein vrijdag not on Friday. I'll straff myself.
Oh, yeah, I know. Okay, so 1 to piso, okay. I told you, don't get overconfident, my friend. Name 3 reasons why Fridays are the best.
Because you do this.
Done.
Oh, man. So many reasons. Where do you
I feel like you failed before you even began there. I'm sorry, bro.
I think it was the deliciousness of the rusk, man. It just stopped. I get you. I feel this.
Wasty pants. Name 3 things that are acceptable on a Friday, but not on a Monday.
Casual clothes, party, and then early off work. There we go. Sorry, I'm trying to get the last sentence out. Early off work.
Yeah, that was a very Cape Town one at the end. I love
Early
that.
off work. Yeah.
I'll give it. Okay, so we're back onto level pegging. Well done, gents.
Okay, that was close.
This is probably the toughest one we've ever asked anyone. Name 3 words that rhyme with Friday.
No ways.
Yes, do it.
What?
No, what doesn't rhyme with Friday?
What?
I haven't. Can anyone else shout out a word that rhymes with Friday?
I mean,
hi, yay. I don't know. How do you... All right, the ball's in your court, my brother.
Thank you. It's getting
name the
tougher.
3 words that start with the letter F.
Oh, food, friends, family.
In that order.
Which you will do on Friday.
Yeah. All right,
you.
he's just got a nose out in front. Tubbsy, this is where you bring it back, my brother.
Come on,
This is where you bring it back. Friday the 13th is considered bad luck.
Yeah.
Name 3 things that are bad luck.
Ooh, locking yourself out the house.
Which he does, often.
And just like when it's raining and you haven't got an umbrella, that's bad luck.
Got to go to Antarctica. That's definitely on that list. Carly.
It's a good trip to Antarctica. I hope so.
Like half a point, yeah?
Yes.
Carl, name 3 things that are signs of good luck.
A rabbit's foot, winning the lotto, and loving people.
No, brah.
That was a hopeful.
Loving people works a little bit. Good luck, right?
All right, this is the opportunity again to get back
Come
in the
on,
game.
you can do it.
That isn't a point.
You can do it.
Name the 3 things you want to do tonight.
Dance with somebody. I want to feel the heat. And go, yeah.
Did it. Bam. Got it in the bag.
That's it.
All right, Carly, one more. Name 3 things you don't want to do tonight.
Work, stay awake, and drink.
Wow. You guys are going to have completely the opposite
Why aren't
nights
you trying
to
to
each
drink,
other, I
fam?
think. I absolutely love it. And Carl is our winner. Buddy, you can sleep easy tonight. He knew. It's like you bit into that.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Buttermilk.
Thank you very much.
I
Well
love
done,
it, man.
Wasty.
Well done, gentlemen.
Tasty.
Well, one thing I get to do on a Friday is announce our winner for this week's competition. This is good luck. And we asked you what you want your life to look like and feel like in 20 years from now. Great question. And this is one of the best viewers' answers that we received. I can see myself walking barefoot, hand in hand with my wife on the beach, absolutely carefree, and have my great-grandkids running around us. A picture of bliss.
Oh,
wow. I want my life. Can I
want that
borrow that
too.
one as well? I'll
that
take it.
too.
Rory
Ooh.
Hansraj, beautiful stuff. Thank you for sending this in. We loved your answer because I think we believe we all want to aspire to be stress-free and then surrounded by the ones we love. That's the most important thing of all, and without a doubt. But money also helps, and you got 2,000 Rand in the bank, plus a delicious Omar Rusks hamper to keep you sorted for the whole of winter. So thank you so much to everyone who entered some great answers, and you can join us again next week for another chance to win. We'll do this daily. Well done, gentlemen. Very, very, very good job. Look at it.
There's more in every dip with Omar.
It's time for more inspiration, your Feel Good Breakfast Show. And of course, with Thor, Love and Thunder out, we were inspired. We got Weedify dance crew to make this happen, along with the talented Manila Von Tees. Let's get electrifying.
Where do we go now? Where do we go? Where do we go? Where do we go? Oh, where do we go now? Where do we go? Sweet child, where do we go now? Where do we go now?
Add a little sunshine. Everflu C Immune Booster Plus, now with vitamin D. Brought to you by Pharmadynamics.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
All of that Friday Feel Good coming your way live here on S3. It is your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Expresso, lots still coming your way. We're going to be connecting with Ryle a bit later on, live from the Balito Pro. All throughout the week, we've brought you all of that action. And then more with Manila Vortiz, a brand new single that's still coming up. And then it's Friday, so XO Empire. They're going to be giving us a Thor-inspired Friday dance. You want to make sure that you stick around. Right now, though, time for us to find out what's happening in and around our world with the news.
Let's do that. Thank you, Uncle Tabzi Wabzi. Let's take a peek, a final look on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Starting with national news, the SA Revenue Service, SARS, has said taxpayers may have to wait longer before refunds are deposited in their accounts this year. SARS said it was aware that some refunds were taking longer to be paid than the 72-hour waiting period that was initially communicated to taxpayers, but the expected 3-day wait may only be resolved sometime next week. SARS said if a refund is due to you, it will follow automatically once your return has been filed. You do not need to ask for it. Now, following the Enyobeni Tavern tragedy in East London that claimed the lives of 21 teenagers, the SA government has called for stakeholders, both in government and society, to play their role in addressing the ugly scourge of alcohol consumption among young people. The government has made it clear to alcohol establishments that alcohol may not be sold or served to anyone under the age of 18. The government also called for the provincial and national liquor authorities to increase enforcement by monitoring registered outlets and closing down unregistered ones. On to international news. Swahili is the first African language to receive its own UN-designated day, which was marked yesterday for the first time. The UN's cultural organization, UNESCO, says it has some 200 million speakers and is one of the most widely used African languages. The African Union, which has adopted Swahili as one of its official languages, has joined the celebrations. UNESCO says the theme for this year is promoting the language as a beacon for unity, peace and enhanced multiculturalism. On Tuesday, Uganda's cabinet approved the adoption of Swahili as an official language. Now, Boris Johnson has quit as Conservative Party leader in Britain, saying it is clearly now the will of Tory MPs that there should be a new leader. He pledged to stay on as PM until a successor was chosen, but a growing number of Tory MPs say he has to leave number 10 Downing Street now. Johnson assured the cabinet yesterday afternoon that he would only act as a caretaker PM while remaining in the position, but ex-PM Sir John Major says Johnson should go now for the good of the country. Now, talking about the good of the country, the Mandela Month Winter Warmer Drive came to Gqeberha yesterday as part of the Mandela Month efforts. The drive is aimed at changing the living conditions of ordinary people. The elderly receive blankets and meals at the Unqedo Women's Soup Kitchen, and warm blankets and winter bites deep are a gesture to elderly to show they are cared for and not forgotten. Meanwhile, for the past 6 years, the 67 blankets for Mandela Day nitwits have also placed scarves all over South Africa for those in need. This year marked the 7th year of this annual event. The Nitwits once again handmade thousands of beautiful scarves that were draped on trees and poles or distributed to all various organizations on Wednesday, and people were afforded the opportunity to pick out a scarf they like without the pressure of someone watching. In several cities and towns, there were rainbows of colorful scarves which were freely available to be taken by any passerby. And this year's Mandela Month is celebrated under the theme, do what you can where you are with what you have. I love that, and I'm here for that, and that wraps up your news for the morning on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Graham would love to tell you about the Booker, but he does have traffic and weather for you.
If you are about to hit the roads, let's see what you got waiting for you. Let's start in Gauteng in Sandton, where there's been an accident on Grayston Drive. That's eastbound before Weber Road. Delays can be expected from Rivonia Road onward, so please be patient on the roads this morning. Staying in Gauteng in Roodepoort, there's been an accident on the N1 northbound after Gordon Road. 2 lanes currently blocked at the moment. Please approach with caution. Staying in Gauteng in Diepkloof in Pennyville on the New Canada Road northbound, there's been an accident involving an overturned taxi before the N1 bridge. Delays can be expected from the N17, so please again approach with caution. That's where we leave the action out on the roads. Let's get into the weather. So what say we start with the ultimate feel-good story. Cape Town has yet another accolade to its name, which is at the same time environmentally friendly and a big plus to the green economy. It's the 12-story building at number 84 Harrington Street, which has been formally declared the world's tallest, to be constructed from hempcrete blocks and hemp building materials. Look at that. Hempcrete blocks made from the woody core of the cannabis plant and a formulated lime mix are carbon negative, with more carbon taken, in fact, out of the atmosphere by the growth of the cannabis plant than emitted by its production. Incredible. The plant-based building material also has great thermal insulation qualities, lowering the need for heating and cooling systems, which again saves on energy bills. As South African companies lean towards lowering their carbon footprints and saving energy, now a must really, the construction of a multi-story building at number 84 Harrington Street in Cape Town is a defining moment for this environmentally conscious push. And once again, we tip our hats. Well done. And likewise, at all of our Sunrise contributors over this week, so we had to take another look at some of your beautiful images. Let's start with this fabulous image sent by Steph Bentz out in Mauritius. Oh, it's a tough life. Look at that spectacular tropical view with the sun peeking out from behind the clouds above the Indian Ocean. Absolutely beautiful. Then Jolene Kistensami sent us this eerie view of the morning sky out in Durbs with the sun's rays just lingering above the clouds. Then Sumaya Conrad sent us this view from our neck of the woods from Wynberg this morning with this tangerine horizon lighting up the mountain range in the distance. Beautiful. And finally, we had this one sent in by Naresh Herdeen out in Durban. You can look at that immaculate view with that crimson glow in the distance and the waves crashing along the greenery. And that's what Ryle has woken up to this morning. We're going to connect with him at the Belito Pro in just a moment. But let's see what your temperatures have in store for the day. And we start in Polokwane, where your low is 6, going up to a max of 22. And Bombela, 11 and 25 your range. Pretoria, 7 your low, going up to 21 degrees. Johannesburg, chilly start, 5 up to 20 degrees. Mahiheng, 5 to 23. Klerksdorp, your low, 2 degrees, going up to a max of 23. Kimberley, 4 and 21 degrees, your range for the day. Bloemfontein, 3 degrees, your minimum, going up to a max of 21. Richards Bay, 14 and 25, your range. Pietermaritzburg, 7 your low, going up to a high of 26 degrees. Durban, moderate as always, 15 and 24, your range. Umtata, your low, 5, going up to a max of 24. East London, 12 degrees is where you start your day. 22 degrees is where you max out. Cradock, 2 and 22 degrees. Gqeberha, 10 your low, going up to a high of 21 degrees. George, ranging between 12 and 19 degrees today. In the Mother City, 11 your low, going up to a high of 20. Worcester, ranging between 12 and 24 degrees today. In Sutherland, your low is 6 degrees, going up to a high of 18. And Uppington, 11 is where you kickstart your day, going up to a beautiful 27 degrees. But as always, regardless of the weather, make sure it's a beautiful day.
Thanks a lot, G. The weather is looking fantastic, of course, and we're going to go to the weather in Durban soon with Ryle. We miss him so much. He's at the Belito Pro, so more details on that a little bit later. Plus, if you need a quesadilla recipe, you may want to stick around at your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso, starting your weekend.
Your generosity can ignite a love for reading amongst our youth. Share your homegrown story. See Cadbury Story Edition packs. There's a glass and a half in everyone.
It's my feel-good breakfast
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso. Time for some kitchen inspiration. Because with Koo, let me tell you something. Eating a variety of colors each day assures that you don't miss out on those important nutrients, those vitamins, those minerals, antioxidants, the things that we really do need for our bodies to keep going. And this starts with introducing 2 fruits and 3 vegetables to your daily meals, each with their own nutritious benefits. Now, Chef Tumi Mukhai is here to show us how eating healthy can be so easy and so colorful and so fun.
So monate.
Chumi.
Yeah.
Okay, it's that time. The weekend is here. Quesadillas are the moment for the weekend, as far as I'm concerned.
Look, if you're looking for something easy and quick to impress and keep people's mouth quiet, do this thing.
Thank you.
The wraps, buy wraps, put them in the freezer, and as soon as they walk in, these people just look them in the eye.
And then you smile at them.
And smile because you're getting to
Quesadilla for you.
Quesadilla.
All right, so let's see. So what have you got in there?
So we're doing a 5-a-day brunch quesadilla because we're going to be using some simple ingredients here, and a lot of these ingredients come from Koo, which is so easy for us.
Why do you think it's so important? Because I'm seeing so much color here. Why is it so important to add color to our meals?
I'm so glad you asked that because I've been wanting to say this line. It's like color blocking for your plate.
Why
not?
Color blocking for your plate.
You color block your outfit so you can look so you can look, you know, the way. So why not color block your plate?
I love that.
Because that also means you're getting as much nutrients as possible.
That's exactly it. And I know that Koo does certainly make sure that with that 5 a day that you really can get all of the nutrients in every single day, right? So what's next in there?
Well, before we get too far, I need you to make my hummus, eh? Like, okay, so I'm making a salsa here. Yeah, I'm making a salsa that's got a base of tomato, some red onions, we've got some coriander, and I'm adding a twist by adding some sweetness with some peaches.
I like
our
that.
canned peaches, yeah. And we've got that syrup, that sweetness already, so...
Flavor, interesting flavors there. So I'm going to get our chickpeas, our Koo chickpeas going in there. They are in brine, of course. This is some cumin. I'm going to add all of that cumin going in there. How much of the garlic would you like to see going in? The whole thing going in. We've got some pepper, we've got salt. Would you like me to add some oil in there as well?
So add some oil, about half of that. Yeah, that's fine. So we're going to blitz it up now. You've got some water there next to you in case it's a bit too thick.
I need to. Just add a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. All right, great. So how are we looking there?
So we're looking good here. So all I've done is I've mixed all those ingredients together and I'm just going to roughly chop the coriander. You don't want it to be too fine because you want to be able to get a piece of coriander into every single bite. And if you wanted to, you could definitely season it with other things. You could add some chilies to this, just a bit more bite if you want to.
You really can elevate that flavor. You're already getting so much of it there, but honestly, you can add little bits to really just take it up a notch, right?
Up a notch. That's exactly what we want.
See this is what you were talking about, just making sure that you've got some water.
But before you go too far, I'm one of the few people that still likes to see their chickpeas there. So I think that's fine.
Okay,
I think let's go with that.
Let's go with that. Okay, so I'm going to just get this out and then I'm pasting this on our...
Because another thing is, I understand that people like to make hummus and they like to make it nice and smooth. But for me, it's also that thing where you can bite into a little bit of a chickpea every now and then.
I do also like that, actually. I do like being able to bite into some of the chickpeas when I'm eating a quesadilla, which is really great. If you want the recipe, please go on to expressoshow.com. We've listed all of the ingredients you're going to need to bring this to life, and you will see Koo really has made this such a simple job for all of us by making all of the ingredients really readily available. It's all about the convenience, and that's what I love about this recipe.
There we go.
Okay, so our Koo beans going in there.
Beans, you could use different kinds. If you wanted to, you could even try the baked beans as well. And then we're going in with some shakalaka.
What I really am getting flashbacks of here is Color Your Plate with Koo. That was really one of my favorite shows on SABC2, seeing all of those contestants really racing against time to make sure that they not only present the most delicious dishes, but also with all of the color, making sure that all of those nutrients come through. It was so inspiring to see.
It was inspiring to see, and also just knowing that you can do so much with one plate of food.
That is it. Okay, so that goes in there. How long for?
Just basically
want to check it out.
Toast the
sides. You want to toast it.
Melt the cheese, and then you just serve it with the salsa on the top.
Your guests are arriving.
And now they can eat.
You're smiling at them. Now they can
No
eat.
bickering.
You want them here. Do
No
we
petrol
want the guests
issues,
here? No
just
petrol issues. Just filled bellies. Now fill your plate with the colors of the rainbow, because what pleases the eye, trust me, and quote me on this, pleases the body and then pleases the soul. Trust me. Now, to get your hands on this recipe, once again, go on to expressoshow.com. Eating better starts with Koo, 5 a day. Eat better and stand the chance to win yourself 5,000 Rand daily. All you have to do is buy any 3 Koo products and then keep the till slip safe as proof of purchase. We want to know that you went and purchased the product. Then dial star 120 star 1987 hash to submit your till slip, and then you stand the chance to win yourself that 5,000 Rand daily. And if you want to get more details on this chance to win big, go on to koo.co.za. It looks stunning. Thank you so much. Let's eat. Let's tuck in. Thank you, Doom. Put it here. Chew me, chew me, chew me. Yeah, baby.
Introduce new Koo Pilches as part of your 5-a-day meal. It's high in omega-3 for heart wellness. Koo, uzotwala.
All right, it was with a certain amount of sadness that I say goodbye to the Ballito Pro, because Raul is spending his last day there today, but it's also happy because he's going to be coming back. But while he has been there, he has introduced us to some amazing South African surfers and kind of painted a pretty positive picture of where surf is going.
I think we should focus on it, and I think that if this is a story for you to focus on, you should. Natasha van Grienen was the WSL African Rookie of the Year in 2018, and she's gone from strength to strength. Take a peek at this.
My name is Natasha van Grienen, and this is my 4th year at the Ballito Pro. My earliest surfing memory is probably with my dad when I was about 12, 13 years old, and him pushing me into the waves. The best wave is between J-Bay and Snapper, and they both are right-hand point break, and it's hard to choose which one's the best. But I think I have to choose J-Bay because it's so close to home. My favorite place in the world to surf at, Lambert's Bay on the west coast, definitely. I love it. It's like an A-frame peak. There are always waves there. It's so consistent and it's uncrowded. My proudest moment was winning the under-20 SA champs when I was 17. That was just a big moment for me. I kind of came out of my shell and really performed, and that's been a standout. Who do I think is the best surfer in the world at the moment? In the women, definitely Carissa Moore. You can't really doubt her. She's got so much power and flow and speed. And in the men, Gabriel probably is the best competitive surfer. He's so smart and he's just got an incredible backhand. In the next 5 years, I see the sport of surfing going between wave pool surfing and surfing in the ocean. I think there's going to be 2 split tours between that, because there's so many different aspects coming out of wave pools, and that is the future. Do I prefer summer or winter? Definitely summer. I love warm weather and warm water.
I love it. And zero ego there for a young athlete that's picked up so many accolades. Incredible. Natasha van Grienen, we love you.
We do indeed. But of course, we have to head back to the beach, because Raul's standing by with one of our most amazing sunrise contributors, Lajith Maharaj, and we need to find out more. And of course, we missed Raul's face. So I want you to take a peek at your screen.
Ask him who his favorite presenter is.
Carl.
Yes, thank you so much, Gian Carl. And we are live once again. Welcome back, Mzansi, to the beautiful coastline of Ballito. We are out at Willard Beach watching the Ballito Pro and taking in all the magic. But this is going to be one of the favorite parts of this trip. I'm going to be honest with you. Meeting you, Mzansi, our fans, our family, and some of our favorites. And I'm chilling with one right now. He goes by the name of Lajith Maharaj. He's a former school teacher, but he's also a top fan. He's been sending in absolutely incredible sunrise photos. So this is our chance to find out more about our family. Lajith, how are you doing this morning?
I'm very well, Ryle. I'm excited to be on the show.
Yeah, man, it's so good having you here. It's so good chatting to you, obviously being a part of the family, providing us with these incredible pictures. But tell me about the show. How long have you been watching Expresso?
Well, I've been watching it for a couple of years. I started during lockdown, when you all did an excellent job, and when COVID hit, some of the programs were uplifting and kept us going. But the greatest motivation for me to watch the show was my wife, Amitha. She is hooked on the cooking segments, and that's where you can see the lovely tummy that I have. So I've been watching that, and then and remember, it's the. Now that I'm retired as principal from the 31st of January, I've got more time to be watching the show, and the show is just fantastic. It's something that it's like a disease. It grips you, and you watch more and more of it.
Oh, I love the way you worded, and I love the fact that you were a former teacher. That means you were giving back all the knowledge that's so essential for our youth. But tell me, you're actually also a former comrades runner.
Yes,
12 attempts, you've completed 6 comrades in your day. So I'm assuming some of your favorites for the show has got to be the fitness, right?
Yes, the fitness program. I love the way you say, I can feel the burn. I feel the burn, and that, although the stomach doesn't show it, but I've attempted 12 comrades, and I completed 6 as chairman of my club, Tongat Panthers Athletic Club. And some of the motivations that I had to do the sunrise pics was, I'm an early morning person, and I'm up very early, and the best time is as the sun gets up. And remember, the other segments of the show are also just as exciting, besides the fitness and the, you watch all the other morning shows, not to take anything away from them, but it's load shedding, it's ESCOM, it is service delivery protests. But when you watch Expresso, it's a different angle to everything. It's there, we have our problems, but it's a manner in which you'll present the show and the unitedness of the team that you have.
Yeah, you know what that is? The energy. We call that feel good.
Yes, feel good.
I
think I told you all that it's a feel good and do good breakfast show.
Oh, that's what we're about, man. And you make me smile here. You make me blush because I know that we're part of all this magic. But now, one thing I want to find out from you. This coastline, Durban, KZN, is absolutely beautiful. Where exactly are you from? And maybe you can entice us into maybe getting to know some of the less popular places in KZN, as well as maybe some of the spots to get some good food.
Oh, yes. Well, Durban is noted for its good food. It's a famous bunny chows. But I live in a little suburb called Seat Heights. And Seat Heights is just 10 kilometers to the south of us. And it's part of the greater Tongat area. Tongat is not a very well-known and well-talked-about area, but it's a beautiful, beautiful area to be in. We have a lovely community. We have a great sense of activism. We have some wonderful leaders that we nurtured in the Tongat area, and Seat Heights is part of that community. We may have had wonderful beaches, and as you can see, beautiful holiday resorts. We've got the best of it all, but the greatest asset that we have in Tongat, and especially the North Coast, is our humanity.
Oh, I love that.
The humanity that we have, the love for people. Remember, if it were not for the beautiful people that we have, there'll be no society, there'll be no community. And I must give a shout out to our Seat Heights community. That listen, I've always maintained, and our Seat Heights Ratepayers Association, led by Arlene, a young lady, I think a female president of our ratepayers, have been doing, together with a team, have been doing some excellent work to try and uplift the local communities that we have. Remember, we are all surrounded by informal settlements, and the manner in which we go about creating a little better life for all around us is something that is admirable, and we encourage it quite a bit. And that is the spirit that most of our people in organizations in the Tongat area operate by, making a change in the spaces that we are around.
Oh, I love that, and I wish there were so many more people like you, and I'm pretty sure there are, especially coming from Tonga. But the people is something that really stands out for me in KZN, and you are one of them. So I just thank you so much for coming through today, for allowing us to meet you, and for being a part of the family, and keep up the incredible work that you're doing in your community. I absolutely love what I'm seeing here, but also I love what I'm hearing around KZN. So
I just want to give out a shout out, if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure.
To my two wonderful granddaughters, Arahi and Sonakshi, my lovely wife Amita, and the rest of the family, and also a shout out to every like-minded South African to try and improve the spaces that you have around you. If all of us put our shoulder to the wheel, we will do it. Let's take Mandela Day. I think this morning I heard on Expresso, make a difference in the spaces around you with the little that you have around you.
That's it. All right. Love it. Absolutely preaching all the magic here this morning in Mzansi. We'll catch you straight after this. Don't go anywhere. We'll be coming live again once more and sending you into the weekend with a dance. See you soon.
It is your feel-good breakfast show. Welcome back. It's the start to your weekend, and it's time to cheers to the smooth weekend ahead with a smooth hashtag Tropica, because there's simply nothing smoother. And with the auditions officially done and dusted for Tropica Island of Treasure All-Stars, it is time to take a trip down memory lane with a smooth quiz game to refresh our memories as we anticipate an exciting new season. We have two of the best competitors in the world. We've got Graham and Tabiso going head-to-head for a chance to win the coveted prize, which is indeed a Tropica and my respect. Now, I know, the respect part. Yeah. It takes a lot.
All right.
But here it comes.
That my whole life I've been striving for something like that.
I would just like to get a little indication. Are you going to shout out your name or a sound? Just give me an idea.
How do you want to do it? G-Doggy?
Yeah, go for it. What are you thinking?
I feel like a sound. I feel like it's a Friday.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm going to go with Mjolnir. No, I'm not going to go with Mjolnir. I'm going to go with Thor. No,
Thor.
I like it. Thor.
Thor. And you'll go with?
Tropica.
Tropica. Okay, done. Sounds good to me.
You got the brief? Okay.
All right, here's your first question. Which celeb contestant was the first to win the shared $1 million in season 1 of Tropica Island of Treasure?
Tropica.
Yes, your answer.
Pam Andrews? Pam Andrews?
Oh, from Coca-Cola Pop.
Was she,
Pam Andrews.
Was it Pam Andrews?
Let's take a look at the answer.
Was Pam Andrews?
Hey guys, I'm Pam Andrews, the very first season of Tropica.
Well done,
So
Sammy.
I loved being part of the show because I got to go to this beautiful, amazing island. We went to Mauritius. I got to make these amazing friends. We ate the most amazing food. Oh my gosh, it was so nice. And of course, I won R500,000. So that's probably the best reason to do it. To win, yes.
Oh.
Yes, Pam.
Really, baby. Wow. Well done, Pammy. Okay, good job.
Point to you.
Thank you, sir.
Let's go.
Thank you.
G still in the game. Here's question number 2. Cancun is the island where season 4 took place. In which Latin American region can it be found?
Tropica.
Is it? Just give me a second. Is it Brazil, Mexico, or Panama?
Tropica.
I heard Thor. I'm sorry.
Gotta be Mexico.
Mexico? Let me reveal the answer to you. What is the answer? Show it to me. Mexico! Muy caliente!
Nice.
Gracias. Here's the next one. It is neck and neck at the moment. Which one of the Tropica All-Stars has already won a season, and which season was it?
Tropica!
Tropica, Tabiso. 3, 2...
Brendan Paper.
Brendan Paper? Which season?
Oh, 8.
Okay, hold that thought. What do you, who do you think it is?
Yeah, like
Brendan Paper?
I think it's
Was it 8?
got to be recent. I'm gonna go season 7.
Okay, cool. Let's touch and go over here. Let's reveal the answer and see which one gets the point.
All right,
Take a
let's
peek.
see.
Brendan Paper, yes!
And what season? It doesn't matter what season.
No, it's fine. Long
But
as
it was
it's
season
12
8. It was
seasons.
season 8?
It was
Was it
season
season
8.
8?
We'll give him an extra
You
point.
got
Well
the
done.
point. Well done. Perfect.
Oh, but can he do it again? Can he do
I
it
actually think so.
Yeah. He's
Like,
one to watch, eh?
I've seen this going on. But here's the next one. On which island did season 5 of Tropica Island of Treasure take place?
Thor.
You're...
I'm going to say the Seychelles just because it feels kind of right.
Say that.
Okay, what would you say?
Tropica. I would say Zanzibar.
Zanzibar, and then okay, cool.
Nice.
So let's find out. Zanzibar!
I left my heart in Zanzibar. Is that a song? Is that a real song?
I feel like it could be, but like maybe Queen.
I remember that was such a beautiful, beautiful season. Whoa.
Well done.
My favorite, actually.
The winner of this challenge is Tabiso.
Your
Congratulations.
respect.
Well done. You earn all of my respect. That's great. Congratulations. You know what? A person who always earns my respect is a person by the name of Ryle. He's on the beach at the moment, and the thing is, when Ryle dances, there was like respect goes through. I'll get to that in a second, but just to let you know, you can visit Expresso's Facebook page and let us know how well you did in today's Tropica Island of Treasure quiz game. And if you are looking to have a smoother weekend, simply grab your favorite hashtag Tropica, because there's nothing smoother. Actually, there might be. Here's Ryle.
Say 1, 2, 3, and we're on.
Yes, welcome back. I'm Zanzi. We're about to do something special right now. I'm out here with Jen from Jive with Jen. She's doing incredible dance classes and getting us inspired for the weekend. Now, she's going to be out at the Belito Pro right throughout this weekend, teaching family members how to dance and just bringing that gears and that vibe. So we thought, we're on our last day out here at Belito covering all this magic, so why not get our spirits in line for the weekend with a Friday little dance sesh, of course. So it's fitness as well as dancing, and I'm going to hand it over to this beautiful soul over here. Jen, how are you doing firstly?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me for the day. I'm very excited to teach you a couple of dance moves for Friday.
Yeah, I am too. I saw a little bit of what you do. It looks insane. I'm so excited, but I want to go back to the beginning because I'm not a dancer, and I think a lot of Mzansi out there as well might need some help too. So can you take us through some steps? Can you teach us how to look as good as you when you dance?
Sure. Okay, well, all I want to say is that everyone actually is a dancer. Everyone's born a dancer. You just have to believe that you're a dancer.
I like that.
So now I'm going to take you through a couple of beginner steps. Very, very easy.
All right. What dancing are we doing firstly, just so I can confirm?
So to start, I'm going to teach you beginner shuffle moves.
Shuffling,
the shuffle is a lot of fun. It's a really fun dance style.
Okay.
So I thought I'd teach you a couple of shuffle moves. Also, shuffling is a natural and expressive dance style for everybody. So it's kind of like your own unique style, and you add your own unique flavor, and then you got it.
All right, Mzansi, let's get involved. Let's do this. Okay.
So,
where are we
first
starting?
move, you start with your happy feet, which is an open V shape.
Okay.
And then you go in, and you hop to the right, and out, and you hop to the right.
Whoa.
In, out, nice.
Okay.
Then you
we're
go back
getting
to the left, you go 8 times, increments of 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good.
Okay, we get in there, Mama. We can dance a bit.
Cool. So now what you want to do is you want to go from left to right, bouncing. So you go 1, 2, 3,
Whoa.
4. Use your
Whoa,
arms
that's okay.
to pull. You go in,
Right.
out, in,
Yes.
out, in, out.
Okay, I can't do it as fast or as cool as you, but I kind of feel
That's
like...
a windscreen wiper. The windscreen wiper is when you got 2 feet going at the same time.
Together. All right, so keep it out. Left.
There you go.
Right. Left.
Nice.
Right.
There you
left.
go.
All right,
Nice.
we're getting it.
Good.
Okay.
So the next move is called the T-step. The T-step's a lot of fun because when you're on a dance floor, it kind of looks like you're just floating.
Does gravity exist in your world, firstly?
It just looks like you're floating. It's one of my
Okay,
favorite
okay.
styles. So the way you want to start is just winding it up. You out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in. Now you start to push, pull, push, pull. Boom. Nice. There you go. There you go. There you go. Yes. Nice. Good.
Okay.
Okay, so we've got
Can
a
I
really...
just say, although we are dancing, the legs are starting to burn. I can feel the calves and the hamstrings. So, although we're having fun, this is still considered a workout. So you get some good bang for your buck. I love it. Okay, all right.
So the next one, this is the one that's really... It looks easy, but it's challenging.
Oh, well, so the other stuff was easy.
Yeah, those are the
compared to this.
beginner moves.
Okay.
So those moves specifically are starting to train your ankles. They're starting to get your shins and your calves strong for the movement, the shuffle movement, you know?
Got you.
So they are the beginner moves. Okay, so the next move is called the running man. Now, running man looks easy, but you got to really focus on what you're doing. You got to keep your body upright.
Okay.
You bring your leg into a hip flexion,
Yeah.
and you stomp and slide. There you go, and then you go... There you go. Nice. To the side.
Yeah.
Nice.
I love it. Okay, I've got
done.
you.
So
Well,
now
I'm also out of breath, by the way.
So
Okay, I
that
got
one
you.
takes that out of you, and that one's the one that builds ultimate core strength.
Okay.
Now we've got the Charleston, which is da, 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 da.
Whoa.
But you want to start with the cha-cha, where you go forward, back, back, forward, forward, back, back, forward, forward, and add the bounce. Then flick, and flick, and flick, and flick. Nice. Boom, and boom. Boom, and boom.
Hey,
there you go.
We are
Now in on
dancing,
the
Mama.
cross and
We are
spin.
dancing. Cross. Okay,
Brilliant.
so
That's
we just
awesome.
got through a little warm-up, just going through some of these epic moves from the shuffle. Of course, we are jiving with Jenna right now. We're going to be coming back at you with a part 2, so I hope you enjoyed that intro. It's a little bit of shuffling, and yes, we are working out, and we'll be right back in just a bit. Yeah.
You know, when I watch Ryle dance, it makes my whole heart warm. I love it. And in fact, talking about dancing, you're going to see a lot of that. We're back on the Expresso stage, fam. And this is with Manila Von Teese and the We Defy dance crew. Their final performance is an exclusive television debut. I want you to tell friends. I want you to tell family. I want you to go to WhatsApp. Go to the groups that you don't want to be a part of. And then you go to those groups and you say, Manila Von Teese is about to do, all right, a fantastic single, and it's here as an exclusive. Just letting you know. It is a written single by this perfect individual behind me, so make sure you enjoy. The song is called Come For Me, and I hope you're going to come for it on the socials as soon as you see this.
hook. Got all of you girls shook. If you wanna come for me, if you wanna come for me, you can, you can, you can, you can. If you wanna come for me, if you wanna come for me, you can, you can, you can, you can. Meet me, 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 meet me. When I step on the scene, everybody look at me. I'ma make you eat. I'm a visual feast. Is it dubs, shablams, or death drop? Whatever I do, the show won't flop. I'm an Elevantes, that's MVT. I know my place, I'm MVP. If you wanna come for me, if you wanna come for me, you can, you can, you can, you can. If you wanna come for me, if you wanna come for me, you can, you can, you can, you can. Meet me, meet me, meet me. I told y'all. Meet me, meet me, meet me, meet me, meet me. You heard me. Meet me, 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 meet me. I told y'all. Meet me, meet me. If you want to come for me, you can't, you can't. If you want to come for me, you can't, you can't. If you wanna come for me, if you wanna come for me, if you wanna come for me, you can, you can, you can, you can. If you wanna come for me, if you wanna come for me, you can, you can, you can, you can. Meet me, meet me, meet me, meet me, meet me, meet me, meet me.
Oh! 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 Sorry, just like this, just for you. We're gonna hold this pose because if you wanna come for us, you can't steal our vibe. We're in a feel-good breakfast show. And don't worry, Manila Von T's go grab that single, okay? MVT on your TV. And you heard it from me, Carl Wasty.
Take lashes higher. New Revlon Eyes Wide Open Mascara. The curved brush volumizes and lifts lashes vertically for a wide-eyed lash look. Hemp seed oil conditions for healthy-looking lashes. Go higher. New Revlon Eyes Wide Open Mascara.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. Thanks for staying with your feel-good breakfast show. Expresso live on S3. The feel-good flows, man.
Yeah.
Flows.
It's going to. And you know what? We've got a Friday dance coming up. But at the moment, we're in the Belito Pro at Willard Beach with Ryle to see if he can shake it out.
Yes, Tapiso and Carl. And firstly, Tubbs, I wish you were here because, you know, you and I, brother, we don't have the best dance moves, but we get there. We love to learn. And that's our opportunity right now. And if you join us for the first session, we were doing something incredible. We were learning how to do the shuffle, right? Now, we're jiving with Jen. She's an absolute pro. You must check her online. If you want more inspiration, then you can find out more about that. But don't forget, she's also going to be at the Belito Pro for the next, for the next few days, and that's the entire weekend. So the vibes are going to carry on. But just to get a little bit more of that flavor, we're going to get into a little dance routine. I saw what you were doing earlier, and I feel like your side is better to dance on. Can we switch? I think it's maybe it's easier on this side.
Okay,
but
cool.
we practiced some of the basics. I want to just go through it again because we're going to do something crazy afterwards, right?
Yeah, I reckon let's try tie it together, and then
Okay.
I can take you through it slowly.
Oh, all right,
Okay.
let's try.
So I'm going to show you a little dance choreography routine. It's a little beginner one. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay.
I gotta do that.
I told you the moves already, so you've got it.
Okay,
you've got
okay,
it.
we got this. If you paid attention to the first part, then you should kind of understand the moves. So let's go through it slowly and then see if we can put it all together in a final dance. All right, so
the
step
first
one.
move's the happy feet. You
Okay.
go 1, 2, 3, 4, T-step. 1, 2, 3, 4. Running man. 1, 2, 3, 4. Charleston. 1, 2, 3, 4, and nice. Good.
Okay. One more time. Let's just try that before we put it all together because there's a lot to concentrate on, a lot to think about. And the legs are burning. Don't forget, I'm not as conditioned as you, but this feels like an absolute workout at the same time. Okay, Mzansi, here's your chance to obviously join in with us. Tapiso, I hope you're joining in as well, brother. Okay, let's do this.
So open feet, we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Get ready for the T-step, which is the right leg. Always ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. So when you add those 4 together, it's your 8th increment.
Gotcha.
Then you go with your right leg. 1, 2, 3, 4. Left leg is based now. Right leg's ready to go because it's bouncy. It's bouncy. 1, 2, 3, 4. Land and yay!
Power! Okay.
Try
it's
this.
easy now, but I think I'm... What's that?
Face me.
Yeah?
You go 1, 2, 3, 5.
Oh, okay, I got you. Pa. 1, 2, 3, pa. 1. Look at us dancing. Okay, I got you. Okay, we're gonna try and put this all together. I'm gonna see if I can keep up, all right? But if you want to see how it's supposed to be done, you look that way. If you want to see someone trying their very best, that's me over here. Me and Tabiso. I hope the two of us are gonna be doing this together. Okay, on your count, we're ready for some Mzansi. You're gonna join in. Let's do this. Shuffling. It's going down.
5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and boom.
Yeah! I love it. I absolutely love it. Okay, one more time. I'm getting excited here. It's not often that I can actually master a dance move.
No, you're a very good dancer.
I really want to
Very
try to do that again. Let's get the music going. We're going to get an absolute vibe out here, Mzansi. This is your chance to try it one more time. You ready? Let's do it.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and land.
Yes! I absolutely love it. I'm officially a dancer. You can see all the hype and all the chaos that I've gotten from Jen over here. But she's such a good teacher, and she's absolutely flawless when she puts it all together. So if you want to be inspired by dancing, then find her at Belito Beach this weekend. Or if you're not out here, you can find her online. That's Jiving with Jen. And let me tell you, the shuffle is what it's all about. Mzansi, yes, thank you so much for the Belito Pro and Willow Beach for having us as well. I hope you enjoyed all the live crossings that have come to you from this beach. And make sure you get down there this weekend and let's celebrate. Let's do it one more time. I love it. Yes. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4,
5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom. Boom. Nice.
Oh, I love it. I hope you did too, Mzansi.
That was cool. You're good.
That is hands down the best that Ryle has ever moved on the show. Can we get a round of applause for Ryle on a Friday? Oh, that's beautiful, boy. We are missing you, though. Come back to studio, please. Now, if you are sitting there right now, not sure what to whip up for your family for dinner tonight, or maybe this alarm bell is going off to remind you that you've forgotten all about dinner, we've got you covered. Don't worry. Woolies Eat-In ready-made family meals are there for you. Yes, these are quick, they're easy, they're convenient, and most of all, they are delicious.
They're there for you as well.
They're there for you.
They are here for me.
You are here for me.
I am always...
I know you are. But can I tell you something? For the last few minutes, I've been stood beside this vent that is just pushing whatever smells of what we're cooking into my face, and it's amazing, dude.
Garlic potatoes.
I'm ready for whatever we're going to eat today. But I like this because it's simple, but it's quite zhuzh in it. So it's not just like, okay, here's a ready meal. This is going to be constructed with a little bit of care, but the results are going to be spectacular.
It's going to be spectacular. You know what the funny thing is? Putting this recipe collection together was not even really work, because this is what I'm really having this weekend for meals.
Ah.
Can I show you?
Well, no, you're not, because we're having it this morning for breakfast. So
I'm going to make my own version because we have to feed a lot of people.
Wow.
So it's Fish and Chip Friday. I've done my little twist. I've got the fish cakes happening here with the crispy baby potatoes, which you got that nice perfume.
Yeah.
We'll look at that in a second.
And those mini potatoes, you can crush them a little bit just to, oh, 100%. Yeah.
And I kind of feel like fish and chips is legendary. It's always going to be amazing, but when you can like put a little spin in it and take the fish element and make it something else, and the chippy element and make something else as well, it's just like, you know, variety. It's really
It's clever
awesome.
and it's super healthy. Yeah.
It's gonna be cold this weekend. Gonna be raining.
We need comfort.
So what I've done is I've made a chicken and veggie bake. It is so delicious. That's tomorrow.
Okay.
Then on Sunday, I'm making a beef roast, which we're gonna do first, okay? But what I love about the beef roast is it becomes Monday's lunch or Monday's dinner as well.
Of course it
Making these
does.
amazing pitas. So let's talk about it. I've got the fish cakes.
Okay.
But by the way, this is all part of the eating deal, which I love. We get your main, get your side, get your
desserts.
And you say it's $50. I mean, how amazing is that? And I feel like, you know what, right now in life, we should be having dessert with every meal.
Yeah, just celebrate.
Do it.
Celebrate.
Just celebrate.
No,
Okay.
completely. And I love this because it's kind of you edging towards kind of restaurant or bistro quality food here in your own home.
In your own home. All right.
Beautiful. All right, so where do we start?
You're on the fish cake. So
this
what
journey?
I would do is, and I love this, the fish cakes go into the air fryer. We know these beautiful garlic potatoes in the bag, the baby potatoes that come with the garlic butter already. Pop in a microwave. When they get soft, squish them,
Crush them, yeah.
put them into the air fryer with the fish cakes.
So they crisp up.
It gets so
and you've
beautiful.
taught me, once you crush it, you create so much more surface area to crisp up. And it makes all the difference, eh?
It makes all the difference.
It really
So
does.
if I can ask you, just pop
Okay.
the fish cakes on there and then your potatoes. I prefer letting them... How crispy is it?
Oh my,
Yes,
get
yes,
out.
yes.
Okay,
And
before I
it just-
burn my hand off.
It
Can you
just
see
takes,
that?
it gets that crispiness so intensely, and it's so delicious. Obviously, with the garlic butter that's on there, it's got so much flavor. Okay, I'm gonna go on to the beef, the beefy pizza. Okay.
Okay, do it.
So like I said, I'm gonna make the beef roast on Sunday, and I'm gonna make that with all the Sunday sides like you would normally do. But the reason I'm doing it is because I need something for Monday, I need lunches, and I need dinner solutions. That's where this comes in. So we've roasted the Woolies rump roast, and this rump roast is so delicious. So obviously got the stuffing in there, we marinated, so the flavors are so intense.
Layers of flavor.
Layers of flavor. So this is the leftover from the imaginary Sunday lunch.
Yeah, whatever.
You know what I mean? I'm gonna make sure I put some aside.
Yeah, I was going to suggest that because there would be in my house, there wouldn't be leftover.
There'd be
there would be no
none.
leftover beef, buddy.
Okay, I've got some whole wheat pizzas, and you can either toast these in the oven, you can even do it in the microwave if you're really in a rush. It doesn't matter. I like doing a dry toast on it, so the outside gets a little bit, like a little charry, a little toasty.
Yeah.
So let that do its thing. For the beef, super simple. I'm going to chop it up a little bit. You can keep it chunky if you want.
Yeah, just make it more manageable kind of size-wise
Yeah.
to fit in your pizza. Yeah, that's generally the thing is, for me, is you want to have balance of ingredients in your pizza, so don't go overboard with the meat, or because you want those kind of a balance of flavors and textures. You need to construct each pizza, but I'll then also do 3 different pizzas each time I do it. So I don't do 3 and then eat them. I do 1. I'm like, maybe I need a bit more of this, and then I go back for the second iteration, and they're like, ooh, wouldn't this be nice with a little extra da-da-da? Boom.
And that cooking's about that, just like playing around and playing with flavors.
Taste.
Okay, so while that's happening, also, so what I've done with this was my main, the rump roast. And for my side, I went with a herb salad.
Nice.
For the dessert, one of my new favorites that I cannot stop, I'm obsessed with it, like properly. It's the lemon curd-ish double thick yogurt. It's a dessert.
Yeah.
Like, literally...
With probiotics.
With
It's a dessert
probiotics.
with probiotics. That's
if
basically
Raoul
what
was
it
here,
is.
you would say it's good for you.
It is.
You would. Have you tried it?
And you wouldn't be like, I have, man. We know we've spoken about this many times.
so much.
We know that the lemon profile, like that flavor, lemon curd profile, how many times have I said, can you do this with a lemon curd? Because I love it. It's like if you dig it, you dig it. If you know, you know.
You know. Okay, so the pizza, let's go, okay, I can see where the, you can already see where the little opening is. So you can
is there a chefy term for the opening in a pizza, Fred?
It's Peter's pocket.
It's Peter's
pocket. Look for Peter's pocket, and you know where the where the cut. Okay, you can either do one giant, like truthfully, when I'm doing this on Monday, I'm not going to cut this in half. I'm going to do one giant one.
Yeah.
I might not even have a plate.
Yeah.
I'm being honest. I'm being honest. Okay, but if you want to be a little more
You might just
civilized,
pile the stuff on top of the pizza and just eat it like that.
Exactly. So, okay, in we go. Pocket, a little bit of the herb salad. Also, this was the side side I selected, get that in there. And then some meat.
So there, I'm talking about texture. You got it fresh. You got pop, herbaceousness. You got it.
Literally, herbaceousness. The herbs are in there, the lettuce is in there, cucumbers in there. Get a little bit of these carrots and beets in there. Look at that. That looks, I mean, vegans out there be like, yo, this is a feast.
But that's why the herb salad is a good option, because it really does allow you to take it in so many different directions. They jam-pack it, so it's a one-stop shop. If you want the ultimate salad side, the herb salad's probably the way to go.
It is. And also that stuffing that's in the actual beef is so delicious. Next, we're going to hit it with a little bit of the feta dip. Not just for dips. It makes an amazing sauce, so get that on there. I should have actually done that first, you know, give it a little smear on the inside, and then hit it with a little bit of hot sauce. Can I borrow your plate?
You can, of course.
Let's just put it all
I feel
together.
like you have to, yeah.
Okay, hot sauce. Any hot sauce of your liking. The jalapeno acha, I've actually tried with the feta dip. It's weird, it's like two different things. Even Toomey in the background's going, yes.
Yes, I'm here for that.
Hit it with that jalapeno acha, get more, but I'm gonna do sriracha for now.
Okay, I like it. I'm all about those smoky flavors. I dig it.
There we go. So, the last one, like I said, is that cheesy bake. I'm gonna do it so quickly because it is that easy
Go for it, because that's how easy it is.
So I've gone for the chicken, okay? Cooked it, and if there's any leftovers, you can use it. But what I actually do is I use the whole thing for the bake. Cook it, shred it, mix it with my veggies, which was the side I selected for that one. A little bit of bechamel, and just bake it. It's the easiest thing. It's 3 ingredients in the oven. Forget about it. It's so delicious.
Don't forget about it.
Don't
forget about it. Don't ruin it because it's going to be that amazing. No, but just in general, forget about it.
Forget about it.
Wow.
And throwing in the fruit salad that's in there. The eclairs we've got as well for you for that bake. We've got the weekend sorted, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We even managed to throw in a bonus for Monday.
I absolutely love it. You can find all of these on woolworths.co.za. That is the inspiration that we needed. I need some of that stuffing in there as well. Go and create something special for yourself, for your family, and make sure that, yes, you do keep a little bit left over for that Monday meal, because you deserve it.
We are business owners working with business owners. Cashflow Capital, business funding that works for you.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
It is time on your Feel Good Breakfast Show for our Friday dancers to take the stage, and we have award-winning dancers in our presence as all dancers under Exo Empire name. They've achieved Western Province colours, which is fantastic, so well done to all of them, including placings in the top 3. All dancers that competed at the South African National Championships also qualified to represent South Africa in Lisbon, Portugal this October at the Hip Hop World Championships. We are so proud. And the champions are now here to give you a Thor Love and Thunder inspired Expresso Friday dance. Get ready to be electrified. It's your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Let's go.
Rest in peace, a West Coast legend.
When I come through, hit y'all with the 1-2. Freak y'all niggas, y'all niggas won't even know what to do. Break full, make all of y'all people wanna come through. Feel the force for my shit kicking like it was kung fu. Through, shoot, 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 no.
Look, I be riding through my old hood, but I'm in my new whip. Same old attitude, but I'm on that new stuff. They say they gon' ride me, see me never do nothing. They know that's the reason they gon' end up on the news clip. Audemars on my wrist, bust down. We popping bottles like I scored a winning touchdown.
Get it on.
Back the phone, freak the phone, hype the phone, swipe the phone, and all that junk. I get busy on them. Communicate with the world, man, woman, a baby boy and a girl. Papa large, looking out the bombs drop. Take a stride while you're facing arms drop. Stop, look, learn to read, learn to write, learn to talk, learn to walk, and watch your step though. I'm hyping right though, a kleptomaniac, a rhyming psycho, a Ricky Ricardo, a guy Lombardo, sporting a rat top, an El Dorado. Stepping to Hollywood, I swing in a boulevard. The rhymes are game type, I'm ready to pull apart. Jack or ace, king or queen, call me the deuce. I'm pouring out like juice.
I don't do the most, but I do a lot. I'm coming in. Give me your attention, baby. I gotta tell you a little something about yourself. Oh, girl, I'm gonna show you when you're mine, oh, mine. Treasure.
If you're a strong female, you don't need permission.
Go!
I got loyalty inside my DNA. I got toilet peace, got war and peace inside my DNA. I got power, poison, pain, and joy inside my DNA. I was born like this, is born like this. Immaculate conception, I transform like this, perform like this. Without you, a new weapon. I don't contemplate, I meditate. Then off your plate. This that bullet, kiss the bed. This that I got loyalty. Loyalty. I got loyalty inside my DNA.
Oh, come on. Exo Empire, get up. Big round of applause. That is the champs right there, Western Province, and representing us in Lisbon, Portugal. They are phenomenal, sensational. I know, Graham looked at me and he was like, do you not feel like crumping? I'm like, what?
Where does that movement
start? The crumping vibe.
Don't laugh.
It just works.
I'm
So,
doing my angry face.
MVT, can you come visit me?
Oh, girl.
All right, here we go. So, we only have a couple of seconds to go. So what we need to do is you need to dance out to make sure everybody knows that it's the weekend. Are you ready? Okay, let's go.
Rest in peace, a West Coast legend.
breakful. Make all of y'all people wanna come through. Feel the force of my shit kicking like it was kung fu.
Oh! Come on, come on, come on! Come on! Just vibe with it. Feel good breakfast.
Look, I be riding through my old hood, but I'm in my new hood.
Have yourself a beautiful weekend and come to the sound.
They say they gon' ride me. See me never do now, cause they know that's the reason they gon' end up on the news.
When something's on your mind, but words don't come so easy, think of all the other ways to say it. Made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.